Morning, everybody. How you all doing? Happy New Year. I'm sorry. Merry New Year. Merry New Year. Welcome to 2026. So, the show is about current events and how they apply to the Black community. And, we had an order. We like, we're going to talk about this, talk about that, talk about that. We attacked Venezuela this morning. If you're not aware of that, that happened this morning. There was a large scale attack of the country of Venezuela. So we need to talk about that. That was not planned, but we gonna do what we do because we do also have a political tilt. So we definitely need to get into that. I also saw a reel this morning, I believe. Roland Martin posted a reel in which he was talking about 2026 and his fear of things to come in this year. The number of those things we've already shared with you. We have been very vocal and on point about what we fear is to come in this year and in years to come. This is a situation in which, in all honesty, the the loss of hope, the loss of faith in Donald Trump is only but so much because folks understand that he is the last, potentially the last great white hope. He really is. The country is changing. It's browning. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden black and brown folks are going to take over. No, but it is changing. And the way that folks voted, not only for Kamala, but for Joe Biden and specifically for uh, President Obama, scared the hell out of folks. They saw the turnout of black and brown folks be very heavy, and that was concerning to them when you factor in the dynamics of population growth or lack thereof. Let's be honest. Folks are not foolish. They're looking 30, 40 years down the line, and we're looking at tomorrow, unfortunately, because we're forced to look that way due to the economic structure of our country and some of the policy. Well, that's not true. A lot of the politics behind the economic structure of our country. So these are the things that most directly impact the vast majority of us, and those are the things that we talk about. It is no surprise to me that we attacked Venezuela this morning. I'll get into that here in a second, but I want to say I thought about Rashi, the question again that you asked, Brother Barry. I thought about that in respect to some other things that I'm looking to leave in 2026. Some of those things tie into the messaging about sex that we'll get into later with Queen Jackie. She's going to be on with us a little later on today. But some of them tie into the other side of the conversation, which is the politics, the policies, the legacy building, so on and so forth. I would like to leave our collective lack of understanding our worthiness, not our worth, but our worthiness. I think that folks hide behind so many things in order to not have to face up to the things that are right in front of them. I had a conversation a couple of days ago, and we were discussing how sometimes the room that you want to be in with people that look like you is not the room that you show up to. Sometimes when you open that tent, other people show up more so than the folks that you intended to show up. And that's okay because it is a tent. What we cannot lose focus of, though, is that if I have an issue, I need to be able to speak to my issue, regardless of who's in the tent and regardless of how they feel about me speaking to my issue, whatever my issue may be. It is not okay for me to lose my voice or subdue my voice just because other people are in the tent. I still need to speak up and speak out for myself and about my issue. Because if I don't, and the next person doesn't, and the next person doesn't, we will be in the same situation that we were in when we walked into the tent. And the reason for the tent was to resolve our issues. Too often, there are folks who claim they want to put in the work, but they regularly sit on the sidelines. They sit on the sidelines waiting for, well, can't say what they're waiting for because I'm not there. Let me correct myself. They sit on the sidelines seemingly waiting for a fuck up to happen, a mistake, large or small, so that they can point and say, I knew this is what was going to happen. That's why I didn't participate. I think that's the coward way out, the cowardly way out, without a doubt. And at times, I think we all take that route in some degree or enough, or not uh, on certain things. And maybe that's human nature. I do have a book about that, so I'm gonna read about that later on. But that is not the way to resolve issues. That is not the way to resolve problems. As I get closer to a five, because right now, really the only thing I'm being big about in life are my fives and my zeros. I've crossed 50 now, so one, two, three, four, I mean shit. 55, now that's something. 60, now that's something. And so on and so forth. But as I get closer to a five in my life, again, I've said this, the reflection, the amount of reflection that I'm taking. I don't know if anyone else is doing this. Don't know. It's okay if you don't. I just know that I am. And I'm really looking at my life and I'm like, yo, first off, this shit been crazy. it's been crazy. I mean, yo, I was talking to somebody the other day and they were talking about, yo, I've never smoked weed. It was a young lady. She was like, yo, I've never smoked weed. I've never drank. She said, that's not true. I've drank, but it's been just an occasion. It's never been a thing. I was like, dog, I've been smoking weed since I was 4. I've been drinking probably since I was 3. Like, yeah, I'm glad I've been delivered from those things. I I haven't smoked weed since I was 15. I haven't had a drink in probably 2 weeks. I want to say. When was the last time I traveled, Rashi? Because I know I took a drink to put myself to sleep. Usually when I travel,
Oh no, bro. I was drunk when you left the last time. So
you was fucked up. How am I supposed to know that I'm fucked up? No, I'm not being real. Like usually when I travel, especially when I'm changing the time zones and shit like that, I will take a
well,
drink.
see, the last time I remember is when you had got drunk after seeing your Korean son. And when you had
No,
left and seeing your
you need to stop.
Korean side
You need
baby,
to
you
stop.
had
Stop.
never.
Stop.
Anyway,
There was no.
no,
There
no,
was no.
honestly,
There
no.
was
Okay,
no.
let me stop being funny. The last time you went to Korea is the last time I remember you talking about going out and
Having a
doing
drink.
anything. Yeah.
No, no, no. I know I had one the last time I traveled, and I think the last time I traveled, I think that was to go see Rodney. So yeah, that was it. That was the last time I had a drink. But that's because I had gone from Central back to Eastern, back to Central, and then to Pacific time. And I was like, yo, this too much. I'm all over the damn place. Let me get this damn drink. Let me take my ass to bed, and I'm good to go. So I know I did that. So yeah, drinking it doesn't necessarily make me sleepy, but I know if I play it right, if I take a drink, I will more easily fall asleep without a doubt. So
Do you know that that's like a third of alcoholism is insomnia and anxiety based?
I can believe
People
that.
like like at least a third of the alcoholics out there, they just wanted to lay down.
Right.
They just wanted to stop the wheel or at least slow the wheel and close their eyes and make those makes all those images stop for a little while. It's not. I mean, we equate it like you a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? You just
Right.
want it. You just want it. That's all. And there, but there is a component of alcoholism that is insomnia and anxiety. And then look, they said at least 10% of it is sugar addiction. Not even to get
I can believe
drunk.
that.
It is literally like drinking, instead of drinking red Kool-Aid made in a black household, they just go and get them a shot or two. Okay, so you just have to deconstruct it. This is what I'm trying to do. It's not that it's don't ask yourself, what am I drinking? You have to ask, why am I drinking? And
Well, I
sometimes
know I was drinking.
it's a legitimate, sometimes, and I don't care who you are, there's a lot of teetotalers out there. That's what
Hmm.
they call teetotalers. Uh hey, if I was going into surgery in a I was finna say third world, but that's racist, but a lesser developed country, hey man, hey man, give me a couple of shots of that so I don't feel them pulling my tooth with pliers and shit like
Be
that.
careful. Be careful. Some of the best doctors in the world come out of Cuba,
You know what the hell
and
I'm
that is
talking about.
definitely,
And I ain't talking
yeah.
about no damn Cuba either.
Okay, I
All right.
got you. I got you. I got you.
But
I got you.
and if I'm about to go to New York City for the ball drop,
Hmm.
I'm finna be literally, there's gonna be a person on all of my sixes, as they say. It's gonna be a person in front of me, behind me, on both sides, and quite possibly on each four diagonal points.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
most people are not prepared to literally be so
Sandwiches in like that.
okay, I'm gonna need a drink. I'm gonna need a hot little flask or something in my back pocket back there.
Shit, you
Because
need that to stay warm out there.
or I'm gonna need to be on the side where I get an exit. I have to have you can't box me in all four sides, all six. So there are actual reasons to drink, because standing in the middle of Times Square about get off me. It's not reasonable. You shouldn't have
Right.
brought your ass out there, but you wanted to be there with your friends, and that's your friends. You screaming to get away from me. So it. There are reasons to drink. Hey,
Hmm.
don't let me get no good steak, with a good marble on it, and the reduction is right, and the fucking mashed potatoes got garlic in it. I'm gonna have to have me something. I'm gonna have to have a little something to wash that red. I don't. There are occasions when they tell you somebody is dead, and you got to deal with that initial shock of my mom gone, or your favorite cousin that overdosed from fentanyl, or you got to have that one stabilizing. I
A
call it a
stiff one to get you
stabilizer.
right.
Yeah, and if my ass is then jump time zones, and I'm sitting up here, my body think it's 9, but it's really midnight. Okay,
Absolutely.
take your ass to bed, body. I don't know what you're talking about. I am. It's time. It's time. Okay, get my stabilizer.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yo, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It really is, because I know that I've just gotten off a flight, right? So problem number one with that is I usually sleep on planes. So I'm like, oh, okay. I have a second wind, maybe hell even a third wind, depending on the day. So now I'm up and I'm trying to run in the mind, but the body's like, hold on, dog. Ain't it late? You know what I'm saying? But the mind, like, nah, man, you see the sun? Like, it's still early. You see the time on the clock? The clock says it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, no, it's 6 o'clock there. But back where you live, it's 9 o'clock. And then Rodney ass is unforgiving. You hear me? Rodney, like, yo, let's go here. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'm like, dog.
Yeah, he's
But,
already had a walk by 9 o'clock, and he's
but not only
already
that,
done some.
it's for real, 6 o'clock for him. It's only 6 o'clock. It's early for
But
him.
see, he been up 2 hours. See,
Right. Right. But it's like, dog, it's 9 o'clock for me. So by the time it's 9 o'clock, it's midnight for me, body wise. And then I still have to drive back to the hotel. Yeah, it's bad. Then the cat want to eat dinner like 7, 8 o'clock. I'm like, No,
Can't eat no dinner at 8, man. Enter, did tell him dinner at 6 o'clock.
shit, not Rodney,
And see,
not
that's the
Rodney.
weird thing. Because he pushes his day so late. So he's up
Yes,
long enough to digest. Most people take their ass to bed somewhere around 10 midnight. And so they don't want to eat at 8. That's actually
right,
backing up in their throat and giving them disease, burning out their throat.
right.
But if you if you eating at 8 and damn near staying up again till 8 and then going to sleep, that's that Vegas sun. They put them to sleep like it's Spain or something. That Vegas sun is real. Because I bet you it's like, what is it today in Vegas? What you think it is, Lee? Like 65, 70
Yeah,
degrees? Because we had,
yeah, probably so.
because I look in here, I'm at 28.
Probably so, because it was in the 60s and 70s when I was out there last. So hell, and it was like mid 70s. So yeah, I would probably say about 65, 68. It may even peak up
Man,
to about
Vegas,
71.
Vegas is popping. They don't even got to get in the house because so the sun don't kill them. Vegas is popping, and so because okay, well let's be serious now, just for a second. The sun is a nuclear reactor,
Right,
and it is emitting radioactive. It's emitting radiation, and
right.
we love
Oh,
it. We are tuned to it. Black folks figured out what to do with it. But just be understanding that every time you stand in the sun, you are accepting a healthy dose of radiation. All right. All
we were
right.
wrong, Rashi. It's only going to be 56 today.
Ooh, they up there. Oh, you know what? They in there free. Ain't nobody in Vegas doing nothing. Them people think it's uh
It's 2 degrees
they
outside.
think it's
That's freezing,
permafrost.
man.
They said it's permafrost out here.
It's
Hey, let me tell
freezing.
you who did me
They
like
got
that.
coats on.
When we,
They got
when I
Ugg
went to
boots.
Kenya, we went to Kenya in the summertime, because in the
Right.
summertime that's their winter, right?
Hmm.
Them Africans was up in there with triple fat gooses on, and I was like, "What the hell?" It was 55 degrees. Okay, them babies was wrapped up like it was a. I said, "What the hell is going?"
Yeah.
So when I came out with my little parka, or cardigan, or
Right.
just a sweater. I'm a big bitch, so I'm like, this is perfect. And so I'm like, why is y'all wet? Why does he have a scarf? And I would be asking my sister-in-law, please take that that triple fat goose off of that baby.
It's
It is
colder there now.
50, but the
That's cold.
55 to a Kenyan, honey, the world is coming to an end. So I can imagine uh even in Atlanta too, Lee.
Yes.
Them folks don't deal with cold. They act like
No.
God forsook them in Atlanta
Yes.
and Mississippi. They get to act. My cousin told me she couldn't come up to a funeral up here because she said, no, it's cold right now. People shouldn't die in the winter. I said, well, damn. He was
Yo.
87 years old.
So I finally figured out my trip for this year. So Uncle canceled Cameroon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Ghana. Then I'm gonna go to Namibia. No, that's not true. I'm sorry. It's Ghana, Jaybird, Johannesburg, Namibia,
That
back to
don't make
Jaybird,
sense.
and yeah, and then
It
back
should
to.
go Ghana, Namibia, Jaybird.
It's too
Then
expensive. It's expensive
you're
as
gonna
hell.
pass Namibia
I
on the
know,
way to Jaybird.
but Africa, the continent, is not connected like we are. So it's a shorter flight, believe it or not, going from Ghana to Jaybird, and then from Jaybird to Namibia, and
That's
cheaper,
because they
and
flying
then
over that little horn. They going they
and
they
then
cheap
and then
going over
turn
the.
back around to go back to Jaybird to go to Namibia.
You are
I planned
going
out.
to love Jaybird. Those
I'm ready.
motherfucking Dutch Afrikaners
I'm ready.
intended to live quite well on the backs of those African people. And so there may even be whole places where you don't see nobody that look like you.
Mm,
Ha! They get it to where you won't see nobody but the help staff that look like you.
mm,
And I hate it for them, but they doing their best.
mm.
South Africa has joined up with Toure. Do you know who I mean by Ibrahim? You know who I mean? Ibrahim
Yes. Hmm.
Toure. They have joined up with him. Well, some factions of South Africa, right? Because you got the ANC, you got all these different factions of South Africa, but there is a faction ready to kick those Afrikaners out in a such a way because they already started. They already took the
Yeah, that's why they came to
farmland.
America.
Come on, and now they ready, Lee, to get the copper, diamond, and it's like they like got three big hitters. I know diamonds is
See,
definitely one.
all right, let's be clear about this, right? I appreciate you bringing up diamonds, but diamonds in Africa, specifically South Africa, it's just a stone. It's a regular ass stone. De Beers
Lee.
has those things so on lock that there's a false inflation of their value. Now, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. If that does happen, they kick them out. They kick De Beers out for whatever reason, or they take over a nice amount of
It ain't, yeah,
stock
it ain't,
in
that's
the
right. It ain't kick them out. It's establish a fair
right.
resource distribution deal or whatever the
The
fuck, you know.
value of
And
diamonds is gonna go down.
you know what I'm talking about. They actually finally pay the fucking country for what they do to the country with the
But
mine. Okay. Okay.
the value of diamonds will go down. It will go down.
That's been going since cubic zirconium, baby. Let's do it. I mean, ain't nobody mad. Bitches is taking cubic
And lab
zirconium.
generated diamonds, right?
Yeah, bitches is taking cubic zirconium. They don't even ask. They just happy to have a man. Them diamonds, especially. Hey, let me tell you what got them. That movie, that movie where he had to shove it up his booty and stuff in order to get out of there. That movie, you know what I'm talking about? With what's it called? Kimura's
Um,
man,
wasn't that
blood diamond,
yeah, wasn't that
blood
Leonardo
diamond.
DiCaprio?
Blood Diamond woke niggas up in a way that I ain't they hadn't been that woke since people started saying the word cold tan. When
Mhm.
they showed what those people have to go through in order to get that rock on a lady's hand, and that I with his iced out what in order to get Rockefeller his chain he gonna ice you out with.
Mhm.
Man, when they showed that ice, it broke niggas' hearts. Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you?
Nah, I did not know that.
Hey, they stopped buying that shit like that. I mean, the pop culture gonna buy. They
Right.
gonna see Jacob the jeweler, right? But we don't really mess with them like that. The Beers felt that cut. Not only did the Beers feel it, but the other
So did the
dude.
Budio.
The Beers felt that cut, brother Lee. I promise he did. Because when he saw that, I bet you he probably tried to kill Leonardo. That's why he walled up something. He probably put a hit on both of them motherfuckers. No, because when you actually see, okay, this is what I'm saying. I'm waiting for the iPhone movie where they show what it takes to make an iPhone. Have you ever seen what it takes to make an iPhone? You see the motherfucking Chinese ladies in there slaving away, having to leave their desk and go to the apartment that's in the same building. They make them iPhone users pay some of their wages, builders pay some of their wages just to live in the apartment they have set up on the side. So you understand what I'm saying? It's so predatory. And so let's get ready, Lee, for the iPhone. We need to figure out what it takes. If the iPhone, the laptop, all that computer shit, the smart TV, that's all the same slave labor. Let me tell you what'll make you cry, Lee. You know, you like your outfits, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Baby, please go look at them Bangladeshi 2-year-olds in there sewing your shirt together. Them motherfucking Bangladeshi and the little Vietnamese kids be in there working. They go to school whenever they can, but they definitely go to work. And then they gotta bring it home and make sure grandma eat. It's some vicious shit out there. But we don't ever get to see what it takes to get us convenient, right? We never get
Mhm.
to see it. And I just wish we would have to watch and see what it takes to make convenience. What is the
Mhm.
chopper? Because I just got me a Timu chopper. You know that thing they've been showing on the commercial where you put the vegetable in there and then you push down on the lid and it chop the vegetable for you.
Okay. Mhm.
But I'm not cognizant of how many little Chinese kids had to get together to make my chopper, right? I just got happy that I found a $3 item on Timu to order.
You
No,
order stuff from Timo?
hey, I did a Timu Kwanzaa. You hear me? I did Timu Kwanzaa. I made the Chinamans get my. Hey, and when I tell you my whole Kwanzaa, including my homegirl, came to like a little over $100. I ain't never had no Kwanzaa like that. What's up, Barry? What's up with it? Okay, we was just finishing up on convenience and the price of convenience and how it's going to affect our relationships around the world. But look, Ling, if you did a poll right now, do you think you would get, say, because 100 is the scientific, 100 random samples is what we in science call a fair random a viable model.
Okay.
100 random, so it's a white man, a Chinese lady, an Indian boy, you understand, 100
Mhm.
randoms. Okay, so if you did a scientific 100-person random sample, do you think you could get them to agree with the bombing of Venezuela and the bombing of Nigeria? Do you think you could get them to sign on with any argument?
No. And being as though Jackie will be on in a couple minutes, let's I'll hit that, but let's leave that for a half a second and welcome Thomas in. I don't think so at all. As I said previous, I think that is more of a diversionary tactic. We're looking at folks losing their health care starting 2 days ago. We're looking at the potential of another governmental shutdown. We're looking at more Epstein's files being found and released. We're looking at questions about Trump's health, therefore he's and why he's taking so many aspirin. We're looking at a whole lot of things that are not adding up. The Supreme Court knocking down his control over the National Guard. All of those things are working against him right now. And whenever something like that happens, you always have to wag the dog. And this is a wag the dog moment to solidify his base about the righteousness of America. And that's why that happened this morning. And again, we can dig into that a little bit later. Thomas Berry is with us now. What's up, TB?
Hey, how you guys
Happy
doing?
New Year to you, broski.
Happy New Year to you guys as well, man.
All right. You said you was up late, boy. You look like it too. You like you feeling it.
Well, I was. I mean, I've been up late for the past 3 to 4 nights. I was a hostage at somebody's house. I'm not gonna say her name.
You loved it.
Forced to do slave labor.
Mm.
No, seriously. And
Did she feed you?
she did feed me. That's the one thing that she did.
Okay.
And encouraged you, enriched you with her attention and love.
No. She was putting my ass to work, and now she on vacation, and I'm still here. So,
Oh.
but with that being said, um, I'm good though. Man, this is that was the last, that's the early part of the year. As I'm telling everybody, I ain't doing no more grunt work. We're moving out of that. We're moving in full CEO mode. So you call me to do anything heavy lifting, I'm gonna look at you crazy this year. I ain't doing that shit.
You ain't busting down no more shiffer rolls, huh?
They better call Stan the guitar man. Don't call
What?
me.
Hey, that was a bad boy. That was boy. You just took me back to NWA right there. Stand the guitar. Stan was getting it in. That was a bad boy.
So yeah, no, man. But man, I just wanted to say, man, if I can say something for a second.
Yes,
Because my state has been ridiculed.
Queens in the building.
My state has been ridiculed a lot here in the
Yes.
past week.
Man, they are on y'all muffin top.
So I want to say this about Minnesota, and I want to say this to black people to make it clear. Y'all got to ask yourself, do y'all want to be the black white folks, or y'all really want to be black? Because it used to be things that we knew not to go and repeat what white folks say, and we knew to go verify it. This situation with the Somali daycare, that was a scandal that took place 10 years ago. That didn't exist. They already busted that. It was $100 million scandal. I talked about that before in the past on this show. That does not exist today. And that white boy that came in here who pulled that stunt is akin to what they did with Warren some years ago. And I want to talk about that politically. Because when you don't, this is what I say on this show often, that black people are immature when it comes to politics. Very immature. And we have to get a maturity about our politics. All they did was they fed us gossip and rumor, and we're running with it. And we ain't even look into the fact that this white boy who pulled the story, his family was busted for fraud inside of Seattle, fraud and gems. His mother, his father, his auntie, and his uncle. Why he's talking about fraud. Now it's crazy about these Republicans. I want y'all to understand they only project. They're only going to tell you what they have done. And we got somebody at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue stealing every day. $400 for a ballroom. $1 million if you want to get a visa to be in this country. They're selling visas. They're not putting that money to the debt. Show us the sheet. Show us the bill where they're putting $1 million from the selective people that they want. Why are they going to these white places, recruiting white people to come while kicking melanated people out of the country? Why are we talking about that? So
we'll talk about that in a half a second.
So, while people are talking about our state, I just want to make sure I say that because Minnesotans is the running joke. It ain't no black folks here. But I got loved ones who are here who are missing out on the daycare dollars because of that fraud. And there's black folks who are running these daycares who go above and beyond the typical daycare, right? They're the ones they're the pseudo aunties, the pseudo grandmas, the ones that's making sure that if the young mother don't understand her role as a mother, that they're giving game to those parents or feeding those kids or throwing birthday parties when the parents can't afford the birthday party. The things that's not typically in the description of how a daycare is supposed to go. So when you have a crazy president to tell our state, because of this rumor, that they're not giving any daycare assistance to the entire state, and that's impacting real people here, real black folks. And I got black people sharing that story, man, fuck you and fuck what you stand for. Because y'all want to be the first to do everything but investigate. And I'm going to tell you this. You want to be invited to the Klan rally. Well, guess what, Negro? When they start lynching one, they lynch everybody. So don't think they ain't gonna hang the Somalis and you ain't next. You've always been the conversation of who they got to get up out of here. Go back to Africa ain't something new. They ain't been saying that because the immigrants got here. They were saying that to us when they got here off of Ellis Island. Imagine them coming here in 1930, and then they were still coming together trying to kick us out. We've been here since 1555. Not 16, not 1619, 1555. And that's something else you need to get right. Understand how long you've been in this country and understand all of these struggles. We got a white man sitting on internet calling this girl Doechii dirty, bummy, a bitch, a slut, a whore. And we got black men in here talking as gossipers. We got to change how we are projected. But in 2026, understand every platform that I'm building, I'm coming to get back what is ours. It's our respect. It's our dignity. But last but not least is our power. And all of you pseudo roaches will be crushed in this process. That's all I had to say.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Morning, Queen Jackie. How you doing, sis? What's happening?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show.
Nah, never problem. Never problem. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Good
This
to
is
see you.
different. This is different. We
You
get to
got
see
the honey
each other.
blonde on. Are you ready to get to it?
You know what
I'm
I'm
ready
saying?
to get to it. Yes.
And the red lipstick too. She might
Okay.
do a little
I'm a
something
bit under the
strange.
weather, but I'm here. So yes.
All right, all
Okay.
right, all.
Well, we hope you feel better soon. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Thank
All right,
you.
so we're gonna get out the gate. We ain't gonna play around. We grown. So we ain't fucking. And that is a problem. That is a problem for a
Wait, wait,
number.
wait, wait, wait. You ain't talking about you and her. You talking about we as collectively as a people.
Correct, Raji. That is
You
a
just gotta
problem
keep it plain for us simple people.
for
That was a good question.
a
That was a great question.
for a number of reasons, right?
Hmm.
Um, not just the not having babies. We can get to that because that's a huge part of it. But where do you find solace? Where do you find comfort? Where do you find a soft landing
Hmm.
if you don't partner up with somebody? If you don't share this thing called life with somebody. If your life is constantly revolving around work, children who are grown as hell that you should not be running after no damn more. But how where's the romance? Where's even the interest in romance? Where is the interest in the touch of another human being? We talked about this last week. This damn woman in China, or was it Japan? Japan. She married a damn AI bot. And symbolic or not, doesn't matter. She went
Mm.
through with a whole damn ceremony with a damn AI bot. Are you serious right now?
Hell
Now, I
yeah.
already know that wearables are coming. Wearables are coming really, really soon. Some of the studs are already into it. I'm just saying, wearables are coming really, really soon.
Who?
We're talking
Wait, hold on, slow
autonomous.
down. Wait, slow down, because I'm special needs. Wearables.
Yes,
Can you
the
bust that?
the increase in wearables. So your phone is going away. The way you have a phone right now is going away. But when they start doing things like that, making it more attached to your skin, it can then stimulate you in different ways as well. That's a huge crack in the door, right? So
Dangerous,
now, sir,
dangerous crack.
absolutely, absolutely. So now, what comes next after that? There's already Rodney has said this several times. The way the country moves, you can really predicate that based on porn. So I've done my research, for the show, and
Why
there's
you
a
gotta go
lot of
there?
AI
Based on
porn.
porn?
Yes, yes. Rodney has said that several times, and he's right. Again, because I've done my research for the show, there is
Right.
a whole lot of AI porn going on right now. This is the new freaking wave in porn. AI. The next thing is going to come. It's going to be a combination of AI and VR. What's going to be the next iteration of VR? So now these meta glasses are coming along, and they are
Wait,
pumping the hell out of these
hold
meta
on.
glasses.
Queen Jackie, to help me
Yes,
out, how does one fuck AI?
it's interesting. Years ago, I'm a big sci-fi person. So years ago, I watched the episode of The Outer Limits, and we as humans were being stimulated virtually.
Yep.
And the reason behind it was to eliminate STDs.
Hmm.
But the stimulation that they got virtually was like, I guess some kind of utopia. They could, um, I guess, via the screen, um, they were touching each other without touching each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the direction that we're going is to eliminate the most powerful thing we have, which is physical touch. So if we're touching these devices more than we're touching a person, then they've already begun.
Yep.
So you're coming out with all these high-tech gadgets that a lot of us love, but we're not seeing it is designed to keep us disconnected from each other.
Hmm.
And if
So
we don't open our eyes, that's exactly going to be the world that we live in. And me personally, I love being touched. So, like in my household, I make it a point that once I come in, the phone is off because I need to connect. Whether it's just me and me time or me and my partner, I need to make time to connect because
Yep.
that's what I need in
Yep.
order to stay stimulated.
Hmm.
I don't want, now don't get me wrong, because this is a grown folks show. I still like my toys, you
mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, you can use your toys to,
Right, but
incorporate
when
that
you
with
put
your
the
partner.
double-headed dildo in there, you still have to configurate the scene in your own thoughts. That's not AI. How, and I'm not trying to be facetious.
What's
How
a,
could
Hmm.
we possibly move past
it's a movie. It's a couple movies.
her?
Demolition Man.
Yeah, her,
No,
right?
no,
Her is one.
no, no,
No,
no.
Demolition Man.
A
Demolition, right?
demolition man is one,
Exactly.
and the
Yes.
second one is surrogate. And surrogate is the most dangerous level. And
Yeah.
surrogate is where we're at this point now, where most of these adults have anxiety when they have to talk to each other, where you hear women are
True.
saying men are not talking, walking up, talking to them anymore. Men don't walk up and talk to y'all. Let me tell you why. All of the warning labels you put online.
Say that again.
I'm one of those
Yes.
guys who
Say
I
that again.
said this to brothers,
Yes.
and I want you brothers to hear me out. Do not take nothing that these sisters say on these public posts serious. Do not. I've learned in my 48 years on this planet, what they say publicly is a lot different than how they move privately.
Hmm.
Now, I'm just being honest, brothers. I'm not trying to dismiss the sisters or nothing like that.
Right.
But I've told y'all for years, Thomas Berry got this one rule that people always laugh when I say it. I don't speak to ugly women. Ugly women men insulted their entire life. They got all the good comebacks. But if you want to go and get you a woman, you go find the finest of women and you go talk to them, and they're always receptive because the most beautiful women typically don't have people walking up trying to date them because they're scared of them. And they're typically
Right.
nice. They're typically the nicer ones, not the ones that's like drenched with all of the accessories and looking like a human filter.
Huh,
But but if you
Can I say
want,
something?
go ahead, brother.
No, no, no. This is real quick. Not just a human filter, but how you supposed to know what somebody look like with all these damn AI photos? No
Well,
shots
That's
at
true.
nobody, but I'm just saying, like,
but that's why you need to get offline. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. Online is okay if it's a connector, but we spend too much time. I saw somebody say, "Man, you got to be insane to take credit for your AI updated photo as if that's the real you." What I'm telling you, what Rashi is talking about, this AI stimulation, because they're saying it's all mental. And what I fear, especially when I see black folks post about the ISIS papers and everything else, remember the whole thing about the ISIS papers was about reducing reproduction amongst black folks.
yes,
Hmm.
You do not understand Neely Fuller, and you don't understand Francis Cress Welsing if you are in the process of not reproducing. And that's the biggest thing. Most black activists today are what? Non-reproducers. They don't have babies or they're in
Hmm.
same-sex relationships. Well, the idea of white supremacy is to do what? Eliminate what? The birth
black
rate.
gay. Yep,
Yeah.
And so how do you have people running to the front of the line that's not going to reproduce what? Black babies. And then what's been most impactful in the last decade is that they have taken the black man out from the front of the face of black leadership and black empowerment. And they put these women who do not, they say, hey man, I'm out of the baby making business. And that's not to knock these people, but I'm trying to explain to us if we really understood what white supremacy was about. So this whole mental stimulation aspect of it, this whole AI thing, it doesn't work for us because we're more of that generation of we still like the touch, we still
Yes.
right.
like the scent, we still like those things. But
We still
these
like to go to the mall. We got to touch it and feel it.
right, but remember, Lee,
Yeah.
we're not the generation that sit around and watch video games on YouTube. We just go buy
Correct.
the game and play it. This is a generation where they'll sit and watch games on TV. They'll watch somebody else have fun. That's why people watch porn. Think about porn. Really, porn is for the people who can't get none. Really, because if you in the act when you sexually active, you're probably watching less porn. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking porn either,
Oh,
because
thank you.
in this climate for men,
Right.
but this climate for men, especially men of means, porn might be more safer because you
Yes,
don't have to deal with all of the mental afflictions of women who've been hurt, who've been waiting to take these things out because of the online presence. You could be a target if you really have something. So porn is a way, but to me, it just stimulates you. But if you're actually having sex and you got an active sex life, you probably are not watching porn as much as you're trying to make some.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Um, Anybody want to say anything before I start getting into the numbers? Because I wanted to go through the numbers real quick. All right, let me get into it. So I pulled some references from PRB, the Population Reference Bureau. This study was published. Well, this paper, one pager, was published on the 9th of January last year, 2024. American population 65 and older currently is at 52 million as of 2022. Is expected to climb to 82 million by 2050. That's a 42% increase. That's huge. People are living longer because medicines are better. People are adapting to a healthier lifestyle in general. In
Mhm.
general. And I wouldn't say we're more active, but going back to the medication, going back to just the technological advances in care in general, I can see where people and why people are living longer. Median age is going up as well. It was 30 years old. It's gone up to 38.9. That's the median age. One third of states actually have a median age at or above 40, with Maine leading the way at 44.8 and New Hampshire coming in not too distant second at 43.4 years of age. What else? The other thing that's happening too is there's a diversity shift in older generations between 2022 and 2050. Non-Hispanic whites is projected to drop from 75% to 60%. This is the thing that's causing white folks to get nervous because they are seeing, going back to the ISIS papers, they are seeing their grip on society shift. This is the reason why we don't have universal health care in the nation. We don't have universal health care because everybody would be healthy. And it's a racist point. We didn't have universal health care back in the 40s, the 30s, the 50s because they didn't want black people to be healthy. They wanted us to die out. Same fucking reason we're not having it today. Same reason they want black folks to die out. Amongst younger folks, in 2022, fewer than half identified as non-Hispanic white. It was actually 49%. It is projected to be continuously increasing over the next few decades. But what was most interesting on that is mixed race folks, specifically Hispanics mixed with whites, tend to identify greater with white versus Hispanic in their responses. The thing about that, and we've hinted on it a little bit when talking about black folks whom are of mixed race as well. Who do you identify with and by when you are a mixed race child? Remember, not so long ago, it didn't matter if you were mixed race or not. The one drop rule applied to us all. And now, because white folks are losing their grip on the societal population, they taking everybody. They'll take you want to come on over. We know you're a little darky, but it's okay. Come on over outside. We need the numbers. They're willing to take anybody and everybody at this point. And the sad part is younger folks don't see that as a problem. Younger folks don't see that as a play. Younger folks see it as, well, can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
No, we can't. We can't all just get along because too often when we're on the other side of this affair and we're standing before a judge and same crime, different time, just because of the complexion of the defendants. Same crime, different time. How that work?
Mhm.
And how does that work over and over and over and over again? Same crime, different time. How
Mhm.
that work?
Mhm.
Because if a black police officer, Thomas Berry, killed a white person, by choking them out, and they yelled that they couldn't breathe. That black police officer is going to prison.
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, that black police officer is going to prison.
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, that black police officer is not going to get the benefit of the doubt. They're not going to be able to stand in front of in court and say, "I feared for my life." It ain't going to work.
We had that
That
before. We had that
sir.
before Chauvin. We had a Somali police officer, Muhammad Noor. He shot this white lady here in Minneapolis because she came out running. I think she had something in her hand, and he was fearful of his partner being harmed. He shot her. The city paid that family $25 million. Her name was Justine. I forget her last name. But because she was from Australia, that was the other thing. That it was an international thing
Mhm.
Gotcha.
where it became this Somali cop or this black cop killed this white woman, and they paid, and he had to serve all his time. It wasn't all this hoopla and push to get him out of jail early, like Derek Chauvin. So you're right about that. But let's be honest. When we talk about, because all of this is reproductivity, in which it leads to sex and relationships and the whole nine.
Right.
That's what this is about. And the one thing that I feel like has harmed us in the past few decades is being on this one wave accord. For our community, that's dangerous because when we assimilate with them, our assimilation always gets watered down.
It does.
And that's something that we have not talked enough about. Like, we can't survive the watering down of who we are. We try it. We try it, and it ruins relationships, friendships, families, etc. And when you start looking at, when you say that the kids are okay with it, yes, the kids are okay with it because our kids are no longer plugged into the extracurricular institutions we used to be plugged into to kind of rinse out some of the whitewashing that we had when we were kids. So I might go to school and be taught by the white people, but I go to an all black church. So now
Mm,
all black church, and then at the all black church, I'm seeing Tamika as being pretty. I'm seeing Tanisha as being pretty. And I'm not talking about Sarah and Becky because on that Sunday, and maybe even on Saturday, I might be a part of the church bowling league. So on that Saturday and that Sunday, I'm with my peers, and my peers look more so like me. It's already kind of couched on me how to relate in certain situations. We hopped online and we torpedoed the church, we torpedoed the national or the legacy organizations. But with all of this conversation and talk that these talkers have online, they don't build institutions that replace those things so that black folks can have that space, because we need that space. That's a part of the intimacy, right?
yep.
Intimacy also, especially when you listen to black women, intimacy is more so about safety. Where can
Yes.
I be familiar? Where can I feel like I'm safe and secure to not only express myself as a regular person, but also my emotional needs with this man or this woman behind the scenes, right? Like, do you make me feel safe? And so I feel like that's part of the things as black men that we've kind of forgot. We have to build these institutions. And we, once again, not listening to what's being said online, understanding how we work as private as people.
Mhm.
I say this all the time. If you really want to know who's sleeping with who or who can sleep with who, look at who's always with who. Because
Mm,
one thing about the opposite sex, familiarity, security,
Mhm.
backing, people can tell you what they can tell you to play cousins. They can tell you play whatever. But when a woman is safe with you, and a woman feels like she can confide in you, we got two women on here. How far is it really realistically from that man to get those draws?
I
Yeah,
I may
and
not be the
the
one to
women ask,
ask
the women
because I'm a
ask for.
reformed hoe. So you might not want to ask me.
Well, I don't want no. Well,
Um,
listen. If you reform, we're gonna let you stay in retirement.
and I've
Hey,
been in retirement almost 13 years
Shame
now. So
on you.
I don't torture y'all no more. No more committees have to be formed. Y'all can quit with the goddamn meetings. I'm done. I don't do y'all like that no more. And more importantly, when men approach me, I ask them, what kind of scam is this? I don't give food stamps no more. What do you, and I don't live on no Section 8 house. What you want? I ain't got it. Whatever it is. And so I've been called embittered. Miss Jackie, I have been called quite a few things for being devoutly celibate. Like it's not a
Mhm.
game. And I'm telling you, as a woman who used to play with niggas' pockets, you hear me, Miss
Mhm.
Jackie? Because I understand the man mindset, and I can sit there and I know how many times to bat my lashes. I know when to put my hand on his lap. I know when to lean in and giggle and kind of cat, you know. I know that his homies get absolutely no play. I don't even do eye contact with any man but him. There's a game. Listen,
Mhm.
fellas, I ain't trying to be funny. As a trained hoe, there is a game that is afoot.
Well,
Okay. But, however, Thomas, let me let you know, there are men who are able to see past the game. And those gentlemen are very strict. They're very structured. They are caretakers and possibly even nurturers. But what they don't do is performative behavior. And
Mm.
once a woman gets into performative behavior, I do my nails for a guy because he likes the way it looks when I wrap it around his cock. I do my hair a certain way because he likes to run his finger. Okay, you don't understand, Lee. I'm telling you, reform. Miss Jackie, will you explain to him what happens when a
uh,
woman
hold
just like reorients herself for the male mindset?
on.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
But Rashi, let me say this about
I
men.
do.
Men
Okay.
always are in performative behavior. If you don't believe it, why do you think it's so many brothels out here? Why do you think it's so many strip clubs? Why do you think there's so many wealthy men? That's what they are. They're structured, they're disciplined, but there's a level of how they want to be addressed when it comes to women. This come as you are only belong to Jesus and the church.
Mm.
Men don't want to deal with that shit. And the other aspect of it, and I'm gonna go back to it again: safety, security, proximity. That's just to Queen Jackie. Typically, those three things typically means that that man is close to pushing that button one way or another. Am I correct or
Yeah.
am I wrong?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. And you made a couple of great points. Like me as a woman, I know what my needs are. You know, I hear a lot of women um, talk about, I want this. I want my guy to have, he has to have all this money. He has to be educated. And the list goes on. What I don't hear is, okay, if that's the kind of man you're seeking, what qualities do you have to, get that man to choose you? One, once you have that man, can you maintain it? You know what I'm saying? We say a lot of things. So me as a woman at 59, my needs are different. I'm looking for, you said safety. I gotta feel safe with my guy because that's gonna open me up to be the person that I want him to see. Not this person I gotta hide because I don't feel safe. So safety is a big deal for me. The providing is cool, but I'm also willing to work as a team to build. Um, I feel like in today's market versus when my parents were married, yeah, a lot of the men, they took care home. The women stayed home with their children. I'm not saying that's not possible now, but with everything being the way it is economically, I do think you need both parties to be contributors.
Participating. You don't
Exactly,
need to be another damn
because
bill
it
for
is a
me.
team. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. So my needs are different. I want the man to be the protector. We can provide together, but I have to feel safe with
What does
him.
that mean? You've said that more than once. Exactly. What does that mean? And do you
For
think that most men have a capacity to understand that initially?
I I I don't want to offend, but I'm going to say a lot of guys don't know what that means. But I
Okay, hold
think,
on, pause right there, because I
uh,
want you to stick. I want you to stick in this moment.
like,
I need
okay,
that to swirl around a little bit. If
okay,
you're saying and you acknowledge that we don't know what that
hmm
means, how the hell are we supposed to be held accountable off rip for
mm.
not knowing what that means? We're not built that way.
Ah,
We're
no, no,
not.
no, 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 no,
I
no, no.
understand. And so
She's not
let
saying
me
that. She's
just
not
say
saying that.
this.
She's not saying that. She's not saying that. You got to listen to what she said. Go ahead, Queen Jackie, explain it to him because I get where you're going.
Okay,
I get where you're going.
yeah. So because I understand the point you're trying to make, Lee, but feeling safe may be different for me than it is for another woman. But I have to be able to communicate that to that man. What makes me feel safe? He's not a mind reader. He's not going to know what makes me feel safe. And in his last relationship, she might have been different. What made her feel safe is different. And I think that's the thing to me that keeps us apart because we try to do the same thing with each person, but each of us have different needs, so if you're not sharing that, how could he know? So I'm not going to
I agree.
say that, you can't learn, but if you're having these conversations in the very beginning, then you gain understanding. Okay, the way I treated Mary, that's not going to work for Queen Jackie. She needs a little bit more, or she needs a little less in certain areas. But that requires an open communication. If I meet someone and I feel like I'm gonna give an example. I'm in a relationship now. The first time I talked to him, we spoke on the phone
Good
for
for you.
7 hours. Seven
Good
hours.
Lord.
I never do that. And I kept saying, sometimes being nervous because I had been married a long time and really wasn't trying to date. Um, so, but I
Is he
kept
young?
saying, huh,
Is he a young? You got a YN?
here, I mean, he's just 5 years younger.
Look how she started, Thomas. Look how she started.
He
She's
said,
like,
look,
yeah, well,
let
you
me
know,
fix
I
that
got
up.
me a
He's
little
just
YN.
5 years younger, okay? But listen, I went from, okay, 5 years younger. My ex was 12 years older. But at that time, that's what I needed. I'm a different person now. So, um, 7 hours on the phone. We really got to know each other. And I'm even saying, I never talked to anybody that long. But we touched on a lot of different points, which is what made me want to proceed because we put all our shit on the table. And I feel like in today's world, a lot of us are afraid to be that open.
That
So,
is right.
how can you choose a partner if you're hiding certain aspects of yourself? If he can't accept it or she can't accept who you are, they not for you. And don't waste any more time. So that's
Okay.
And you know what? And I do want to say this. I always laugh because I see the thing about married men. And you know why married men get so much attention from other women is
mhm,
because a married man has proved that he knows how to sustain a relationship.
that part.
It takes cash to get cash.
Hmm.
Why do married women always get hit on by others by single men? Because she's already proven that she's willing to be kept.
Right.
It
Man, I
takes
met this chick one day. She said, I got a husband, a boyfriend, and a side. I was like, dang.
Okay.
I mean, but I'm gonna tell you, the human experience is a lot like the bank. If you ain't got no cash, you typically can get cash from the bank. And what I see online a lot of is that I see a lot of single people who are married, who are relationship coaches, who are personal coaches, and
Hmm.
This got to be the craziest hustle ever.
Yo,
And this
how
is why
you gonna
True.
tell me that you're wifey material? How the hell you gonna tell me that?
Right, right.
I that's like me telling you I'm husband material. I could be crazy as a box of fucking rocks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not husband material. You
Yeah.
are not wife. You cannot tell me. I have to experience that with you.
right,
Mhm.
I have to tell you,
right.
yes, you are. Just like you have to tell me, yes, you are.
But the
You
sisters,
can't come up. I can't come up to you and say, "Hey, I should be your husband because I'm husband material."
but sisters,
Huh?
Right.
but sisters will push back on you and say, "Well, y'all ran with Kevin Samuels. Look how feminine he was. Look how he wasn't married. Look at how he changed everything. And y'all ran with it. Y'all are still running around here screaming high value man and what it takes, or whatever the case may be. I mean, just look at it's like the land of the misfits, because
Mhm.
you either got bell hooks on one side or you got Kevin Samuels on the other side, and neither one of the sides really want to be in a relationship.
I need to read this because this is spot on. This is what I've said, Nate. Thank you for saying it. Relationships are scary for men in 2026 because one angry woman will ruin a man, and false accusations can not only send a man to prison but can ruin his reputation. I say that all
I
of the
agree. Yeah, I
and
agree.
and one of the things that I think a lot of women don't recognize is, like you said, bro, it's one angry woman, and she could be angry in that moment. But the things that she does and says in that moment can ruin you. I know a bruh,
For sure.
very good friend of mine, security clearance, top secret, TS. Boy got put through the ringer by a sister. You ready for the foot? You ready for the shoe drop? She's a damn attorney. An attorney.
You should have known there.
He decides it's not best for them to go forward. He lets her know. She starts blowing him up at work. He refuses to answer the phone. She put charges on the boy. The boy gets the phone call from command, like, yo, we got to snatch your TS. You got to take care of this. What's going on? Son, I ain't do nothing. Well, we got to snatch your TS so you figure this out. So my man was on the LD, locked down, not incarcerated, but he couldn't move as freely as he normally moved until this got resolved.
Yeah,
And as soon as it got resolved, he got out of there. He was like, I gotta go because this is going to haunt me for a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
But this is the type of shit. And with the advent of social media, you got TikTok, you got Snapchat, you got this, you got that.
yeah.
Man, again, one woman in the heat of the moment, in her feelings,
Mm.
can bring you down.
But hold on, brothers.
Because,
I got to push back though.
go ahead.
Need to hop back on and be advocating. But I've known personally one man in the Twin Cities who dated two different sisters that I know. And that situation for both of those sisters could have turned violent and dangerous.
Yeah.
In some instance, it did, where the brother was breaking into their homes. And not only
Wow.
that brother was hitting me up, asking me about those women because I worked with them or I was partying with one of those women. And he was asking extensive questions as if the woman was giving me his clothes or we had a relationship. And this is a big dude dealing with smaller built women. And we see
Mhm.
on the news all the time women are being killed by these men. So I
Right.
want to make sure that we're clear because the wrong man can be a danger not only to a woman, but
Absolutely.
to the entire family. You talking about your boy losing clearance? We're talking about people losing their lives, and
Now,
Right.
there's a lot of stories, and that's the dangers with the social media highway too. By the way, because this highway put a lot of people who was in that other hallway when we were in school. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That other hallway that wasn't in them regular classes. Now everybody, now we all in the same classroom with each other.
Right. Right.
And some folks ain't got the senses to know to say, hey, this kid
Hey,
doesn't belong in this class.
hey, let
That's
me
right.
ask you a question about that though. And I'm gonna start with Miss Jackie.
damn, bro, Nate.
How do you feel about being like intimate with somebody who you know, like it ain't no game. You know it's something up. Like you know it's something up. I've done it only. I married him, but I don't want to. I don't want to talk about me. I'm talking about like you think, hey, this person may have been dropped as a baby or perhaps has had a stroke or something, but you go ahead on and do it anyway. But they have the rounded speech, they eyes dirt dark, they can't give you no facts back 10 minutes later. Like why? What do you feel about our exceptional friends being in the fold now? Like he said, they not in class, they not in the on the short bus no more. They at your local
And in the
gym,
annex building,
they at the gym. They're your
they in general pop.
they're masking as fully cognitive individuals. So do we, the best they can fake it until they make it, or what do we do? Should we even be, because you know, Miss Jackie, I don't mean to tell you this, but them special needs dudes be having some pipes, boy. Like it's like the bigger the penis, the more special they are. I don't know. I'm just telling
Oh
you.
Lord,
I'm just
Hey,
telling. That's a thing.
we
That's
say
a
the
thing,
same
Miss
thing though,
Jackie.
right, Tubbs? The
Miss
crazier the
Jackie, that's
bra,
a
the better the
thing. It's a
drawers. It's like
thing. This called retarded. It's called retarded dick. I ain't the one who made that term, fellas. There's actually Miss Jackie. Have you heard of retarded dick before? And what? How
I
do you
have,
feel
but I
about
think I
actually
heard more.
touching retarded dick?
hold on, better question,
I
Jackie.
think
Have
I
you ever
heard.
had any retarded dick?
I
I'm
know some people that we consider normal should be classified as retarded. Let's be clear. Um, I haven't heard retarded dick as much as I've heard coke dick. So that's that's a little different. And
Can I
um,
suggest for
how did
you
we
a
get here?
deep dive on retarded dick? Anyway, what I
We
wanted to
don't need
talk
to
to
do
you
a
about.
deep
No,
dive
I'm
on the
talking to Miss
pipes. What are
Jackie.
you
I'm
talking
talking to Miss
about?
Jackie. I'm talking to Miss Jackie. She don't know about the phenomena. It's actually a biochemical phenomena.
She got
Testosterone
a man.
does.
She don't need a deep dive on that.
Don't no. That ain't her man. Better figure. She may be
Oh,
with
you right.
a nigga with a retarded dick. She don't know. But
mm,
wait. Okay, this is what I'm trying to. First, let me substantiate that last statement.
okay,
Testosterone is a biochemical element that does something to every part of your body. While it will elongate your actual genitalia, male or female, it's also a mental retardant. Did I just say all men are retarded? No, I did not.
no, no,
But there is an element of retardation that has testosterone as a major factor. Now, let me tell y'all what y'all don't know.
Hold on. So
Hold on,
hold on.
people can be special, right? And
So
but
she
their
got a big
sexual.
clit. She a little
Yes,
off.
right. Them monster clit bitches be having high testosterone levels, but that's not where I was going. What I was trying to say is, y'all don't let me say
Go
what it
ahead.
is I'm trying to say.
Go ahead, finish. Go
Okay,
ahead.
now look. When you look at what testosterone does to the brain, it's a little different than what it does to the genitalia. So you can get a guy with extremely high testosterone levels, and it is a part of his mental incapacity. But when you look past his waistline, he's a three-legged man. And so you trying to figure out, do I play with this three-legged man's simple mind? And then how simple do his mind have to be? See, that's something that nobody talk about, Miss Jackie.
Oh no, we talk
when
about
when
it.
when
oh
we
yeah,
playing with
Oh, we talk
with
about it.
simple minds, with whether wet pockets or like you say, not or not Nate, with monster clits. So this is the vein I would like to get into, because a lot of people would say that motherfucker was retarded. But
But
it's 10 years
that's
later and
crazy.
he didn't have his kids. It's 10 years later. He didn't put a brick through your thing, like you said, Mr. Barry, that he didn't followed you on your job. He asking motherfuckers about do you still work there? It's 10 years later when you find out he's special needs, but he was a three-legged man.
but
So
Roxy,
what I'm trying to,
that's the
okay, I'll be quiet. Go ahead, Barry.
but that's a choice that people make, and that's where for me, I feel like it's a immaturity. You have to take a risk assessment.
Hmm.
I don't care how wet the vagina gets. If she's gonna put a brick through my window, if she's gonna listen, I say this all the time. I was dealing with this chick. and she started to do weird stuff after we would have sex. And it would almost be like we're having
Like
sex,
what?
everything good. She'll go to the
Like
bathroom,
what?
she'll go to the
Like what?
bathroom and come back. She came back, she would always act as if she was distraught about the sex. Now it's mutual sex, but it was almost like her Christianity kicked in once she pissed the,
Ah,
and then she would come back
Okay.
and she would play this
She would have cummer's remorse.
right, but she would play this.
Right,
notice,
that's a good
notice
one.
remorse.
Yes, I like that.
But the more she played that game with me, the more I recognized what was going on, and I
Okay.
pushed away from that. And any interaction with that woman afterwards, any interaction, and I noticed the trend, so I had to kick her to the side to tell her to lose my number. Because for me as a man, I understood my value is a lot more than what she got between her legs.
Yeah.
And I'm
Now, what
saying,
did that take? Now, come on now. Now
no,
let's
no,
teach.
no, no,
Let's
no,
do the
no, no,
master
no,
class. How do
no,
you
no,
go
no, no,
from
no, but
"Ooh,
you got
look how warm and wet
no,
it
no, no,
is" to "Oh
but I
my
was
God, the
married,
collateral damage is too much"?
but I was married for 21 years. So
Mhm.
you can't play with me. I wasn't hopping around like that. It's
Yeah.
a risk assessment for me. I come established already. All a woman
Hmm.
can do
No
with
pun
me at this
intended.
point is to build on what I've already dealt with my children's mother. You're not
Right.
going to whatever I am. I've already had that for that 20 years. I think a lot
Hmm.
of times what we fail to realize in our there's a maturation process. When I see men and women who are in their 40s or in their 50s and they've never been in a serious relationship, no children, no marriage, it's a little bit of social retardation that's going on there. We don't want to talk about it. We try to make it
True.
some type of code of pride. We've always tried to make it like there's some type of value. They are not valuable because in this society, you have to produce something. You have to reproduce something. I don't care how much we talk about Oprah. Oprah, when she's gone, she's gone. There's no little baby Oprahs running around here.
True that again.
Period. Like there's a level of when we talk about intimacy, right? Because that's a part of a true sign of intimacy, selflessness, and all of those things. I know
Yes.
we talk about the breeder a lot, but when I see people who've never been in a serious relationship in their 40s, in their 50s, and those are the people who are typically the most miserable too, by the way, online
That's true.
because you know it's like swimming. I don't know if y'all I can't swim a bit, but I do know with swimming it takes some braveness to get in that water to try something that you can't do. And if you don't have the courage to do it, it does stymie your growth because intimacy and the reason why I knew I couldn't deal with that woman, Rashi, was I was looking at how she would come back in and it was almost like because you got to think as a black man, we've seen all the stories about brothers being accused of rape.
Hmm.
So when you start seeing people come out the bathroom, it's like she ain't come back out the booth with a cape on. She went in as Superwoman and came back out as something else. And I'm like, okay, I thought we no.
All right, so back to my last question, Barry. How slow do somebody have to be before you say, "I can't fuck him, that's a crime," or "I can't touch her, that's a"? How damn slow can they have to be?
That has to be it has to be your level. And sometimes it can be
Hmm.
masked. I didn't know that it was a bit of slowness, and I wouldn't even call it slow. It was just based off of her interactions with me. And I didn't like that interact. And as Queen Jackie said, it's different from different people. Like your interactions with me, I can only base off of how you interact with me. This is not a
Hmm.
chemistry fit for me. Some other men may not care, be like, yo, I got the draws. Now wipe your ass and go
Right.
home.
I'm good.
But for me, I'm looking at the long game, and she's in
It's
my
because you're a man
house.
with something to lose.
Yeah, I'm a man with something to
Right.
lose, known in the community, and on top of that, you're in my house. You're in my house. I'm not at your house. You're in my house. And
Yo,
if
what's up with that?
what's that?
What's
Hold
up
on.
with always wanting to come over to your spot? What's up with that? I'm not talking you. I'm talking in general.
I
Let the
like to
ladies
see
answer that.
whether or not that black mold is crawling up the bathroom wall. I want to see how stiff them motherfucking
Yeah,
towels is on the
but,
rack.
but
I
why you
want to see how
always
old that food is in the refrigerator and if you got the lotion next to the bed. I want to
but,
see if that bitch's eyebrows is on the island. I need to see if you sleep on the mattress on the goddamn floor.
okay,
I'ma
Rashi,
need it. I'ma need it.
Hey,
Rashi, but you
this
don't
food
need
gonna
to do
start
that
saying I'm
every time. At some point,
Hey,
I
hold
need to
on.
be able to come to your spot so I can make sure that you ain't hobosexual. I need to make sure
Okay.
that you ain't got roaches running all around your spot. I need to make sure that your lights is on. I
Yeah.
need to make sure you got some food in the refrigerator. Because every time we go out, your ass always want to eat. I got questions like, what the hell? Like, motherfucker, you couldn't eat anytime before you came over here? Like, seriously?
Not just she want to eat, but she get a go plate. That's for later.
Hey, but I got
That part.
but I do got a new revelation. I was talking to my brothers about this, and I'm gonna share this with y'all since we're talking about relationships. And y'all women, y'all can tell me this.
Okay.
I am noticing this is just my thing. Women who are always on the go, and men who are always on the go, whether it's at the club, they're at every concert, there's something they're running away from at home.
I say that. I say that
There's
often.
something they're running away
Uh
from
oh, Lee.
at
Uh oh,
home.
Lee. Did you hear that? Did the hit dog
Oh,
holler,
look,
Lee?
I know mine. Mine is loneliness. I will be 100% about that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I am far away from home. I'm far away from the majority of my loved ones. So it's loneliness for me. So what I do is I get away to people and places that I'm very familiar with, I'm very comfortable with,
Yeah.
so I can. So that takes away from that loneliness. It also gives me an opportunity, regardless of where I am in life physically, to connect with my folks. And I always want my biggest thing to my brothers and my sisters was
Hmm.
I don't want your children to not know me. Now
Yeah.
they may not see me all the time, but I want them to recognize Uncle Lee will pop up at any fucking moment. Any moment. You never know when Uncle Lee gonna pop up.
Right.
And I not only want to be there for the big moments, I want to be there for the mundane moments as well, because those are just as much memorable, if not more so, in my opinion, than the big moments. I can come anytime for your graduation. You expect me to be there for your graduation, but do you just expect me to pop up on a random Thursday? Like,
Right. Right.
let's what's up? Let's go to dinner.
And I
I
think
You
that's
know what I'm
love
saying? Do you expect me to pop up and be like, "Yo, let's just go to the movies"?
and I think that's
You don't
different.
expect.
But Lee, what I'm saying, I think is different for you than what I'm saying. It's a lot different when you're dealing with family and friends and you're plugging into there because you're a single man and you got the ability to do it, right? Plus your life in the
Yeah,
military, you traveled a lot. I'm talking about the people that's addicted to being on the scene.
I feel that.
Like that's a conversation that we're not talking about, whether it's on the scene on
Yeah.
social media or on the scene in real life. The people who and when you go to that chick house and she look like she got everything put together until you go into the house and then you start understanding like it's either some roaches or some rats up in this joker is junky. You go into that bedroom, you start understanding Nate why she don't want you to come
Yeah,
to her.
or she
Right.
lonely too,
Right.
right? Or her standards are so unobtainable, Thomas, that don't nobody want to be up in there and all that damn brass and gold or silver and baby blue.
Them
But
You know,
damn mirrors,
but
all
the
she
them
don't
mirrors
want
damn
with
to
the
be up.
mirrors and
sparkly
But
shit.
reflective
she
Yo, what's
disco
up with that,
balls and all them
Jackie?
fucking glittery,
Right,
all that
Jackie, what's
glitter
up
shit
with that shit
everywhere.
with the mirrors and
Something that's
everything with
so
all the damn
effeminate.
glitter?
What you
Oh,
look
With
at
the
is an
mirrors.
environment. It's an environment that's so effeminate that you couldn't even possibly see where the fuck, even if you fell in love with her that day. Where my shit gonna go? Where my OJ Simpson calendar with the white bitches gonna go, right? Yeah, I do hear you. I hear all y'all. Just let me let you know something. They not even making it to the apartment no more. Bitches is fucking in the car. Bitches is fucking in the back of the club.
Ain't nothing
Like we
wrong.
didn't got
Ain't nothing wrong
sexy.
with the car, the
Hey,
club. Don't do
sexy
that.
Ain't nothing
red and
wrong
got
with that. It's
baby. Sexy red got
spontaneity.
Yeah.
sexy red and them got us pulling niggas in the back. And if he don't pop that If he don't get it popping in that stall in the bathroom in the back, he don't have to worry about my apartment. He won't even see my car. Like literally, they making y'all lay pipe like it's for the Hunger Games or something. And I'm like,
Yeah,
since
first
when did we start Hunger Gaming pipes? We used to make them buy shit. She said, fuck them flowers. I don't want no crab boil. Don't take me to Cheesecake Factory. Because when
oh,
I get done, if you got a questionable pipe, then I gotta sit up here after you get done and excuse myself to the bathroom. You know what I'm talking about, Miss Jackie. Some women at least go to the bathroom. Some of them will bust that plastic nigga out on you in the room.
I
In
don't give a
fact,
damn.
some of them will try to put one in your ass as she put one
Whoa,
in
now
her
that
Yeah,
ass.
that's a
See, that's
little
what I'm talking about.
different, but yeah.
Okay, now see, that's what I'm talking about. The new
hey,
women now, these
look,
new women,
hey.
no, this is what I'm talking about, though, fellas. We talking
okay,
about fucking, right? These new ones
No,
are
no,
not asking for romance no more. They want to know when you get through fucking them. Well, can I fuck you? I like it. I'm into that shit.
no, what are
And
you talking
and
about?
and what y'all need to get ready for, Lee Thomas. You put the
No,
cap on it, but Miss Jackie, tell them the motherfuckers is ready for a peg or two. Tell them, Miss Jackie.
no.
It's so crazy because I'm listening, right? And again, being married for a long time and hesitant about dating, when I finally started dating, I didn't even date long, but what you are describing is not necessarily my experience. And I'm sitting here like, whoa, is that the shit that's jumping off right now? Because that's
Yes,
different.
ma'am.
No,
Yes,
no.
ma'am.
That's
Yes, ma'am. Well, not with this generation.
that's
These is not the niggas I'm talking about. I'm talking about them young tenderonis that put that chalk shit around the outside of their beard. They put that white chalk shit out there, and they have the British cut suits. They ankles are showing in they motherfucking suit, and they ready. They ready for a full spectrum of love.
but
You
but
suck they dick, they suck your. Yeah, I mean, they
but
eating ass. You eat we eating they eating their ass and we eating their ass. People's eating ass. And
let,
so
let Jackie, let Jackie
Since
finish.
we're talking about the eating ass thing, fellas, y'all eat ass?
Say again.
I'm just asking since Rashi brought it up.
I mean,
I mean, I'm a reformed hoe, so I have
hold
eaten
on.
a ass. But
Hey,
I
but
need y'all to understand this. It is a very, very you don't get you it's not the first thing you do. It ain't like, hey, my name is
oh
Johnson. Do you
my
like your ass ate?
Okay,
It is
okay.
a progression of intimacy that happens so far down the line that
god.
by the time he get through sucking your colon out, you almost feel fucking wrong for not at least tapping his cheeks with your tongue. I don't
Tony,
know. I don't know. I can't
Tony
Oh
explain
slamming
it.
my
do
God.
not
You
in
have, but
Y'all about to
character.
it's a
get
Not
reciprocity.
in
trauma
It's
here.
character.
reciprocity. Okay, now look, you will at least, Miss Jackie, Queen Jackie, say
Oh my
reciprocity
god.
is a key form of intimacy. Yes.
I would agree, but I'm not gonna lie. I think I draw the line with certain things.
I
I
mean,
don't want your
he was my
tongue back
husband.
there, and I ain't putting my tongue
Okay,
there.
now
That's just me.
you don't have to ask them. These motherfuckers will put their tongue there without you asking them.
But but
I
but,
wish somebody would please type in. Y'all hear us. Y'all
I
hear me?
agree with
Y'all,
what you
some lady out
said.
here then got her
I
asshole
definitely
tongue and
agree.
she did
Eh,
not say
but that's
tonight gonna end with your tongue in my ass. That's not what she said.
but
But it happened.
but
Okay, okay.
but that's a reality for a small fraction. I think what happens in our society today is
She
we
all over
take
that.
10% and we stretch 10 to 60%.
Mm,
Most people are
go ahead.
experiencing a small view. That's why we
Okay.
have a lot of people inside of the homosexual community saying everybody's gay. No, my nigga, you
Right.
gay. And you around a lot of gay people, but the rest of us, I don't fraternize with gay people like that. So the people that I
Mhm.
deal with on a 95 basis, they're not gay. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with homosexuals. I'm just not hanging around the homosexuals or the bisexuals
Okay.
or the trisexuals. So what I'm saying is a lot of times our vibrations, we are attracting the people that we're equally vibrating to. So
And over time, right? And then you have to put
no, no,
time in there, right? Right,
no,
Tom?
well, listen, I don't know about over time because I don't think I'm gonna deal with the chick that's trying to advertise she want to eat my ass. I'm not gonna deal with
She
her.
don't advertisement.
Hey, listen, if she
Y'all
try,
not hearing me.
listen, hear me out,
Hold
Rashi.
on.
Hear me out, Rashi. If a woman try to play with my ass, I'm probably gonna beat her up.
Hold on.
Because you
Hold
don't
on.
play you don't play with certain men a certain type of way. And I
Yeah.
Hold on.
no, hold on, because I don't want to joke about it. Because in
Right.
our community, we have a bunch of black men who were molested as kids.
Right. Right.
Joke, and it's
I got
this
that.
running joke because you wanna pep on your son that's gay, or your gay nephew, or some gay dude you slept with. But you gonna fuck around with a real heterosexual that's gonna beat the dog shit out of you playing that game.
Yeah.
So be careful.
I got that.
And
Now I
sometimes we
have.
joke because we joke about it a little too much, a little too freely. And this is why when we have women who are saying they are sexually assaulted by men, is men who are trying deviant shit to these women that they're not trying to be a part of as well. Your
Yeah.
deviancy because of your porn overload. And sometimes some of us have justified our own molestation as well because you like anal because somebody took it anally from you and you couldn't
Yeah.
express the fact that you didn't like it. Then you start justifying it as it's something that's normal. We have to
Right.
get out of these perversions. And I'll keep saying it again. It's this blackness that's masquerading with just white black people running around here. This all sounds like Greece to me. And so we have to be careful in how we say certain things. We're talking about intimacy. For
Yeah.
one, nigga, can you at least do fucking missionary? Do you know how to look a woman in her eyes while you
That
putting
part.
your
Yes.
penis into her? Can you kiss her in the mouth? Do you know how to
Yes.
caress her? Before we get into all of this salacious, crazy shit that we be talking about, do you at least know how to hold fucking hands? Like, because we always jump the shark. And I understand it. We live in a society where everybody wants to be shocked. That's part of the problem. When we talk about all the red flags, typically we're the ones coming with the most red flags. Listen, these are my things when I date a woman. It's either green lights, no brakes. What do I mean by that? Things got to go the way that I want it to go. And if it's too many breaks, I'm out. What do I mean by that? If you come to my house, I got to come to your house. If
Yep.
you eat my food, I gotta eat your food. If you can drive my car, can I drive your car? If I can borrow you money when I got needs, can I borrow money from you?
Right, reciprocity.
If you're sitting online and this online space is a zero reciprocity space. My brother Travis Sankofa and his wife been married forever. You know what? I never see them online talking about relationship advice. You know who the fuck I always see talking about relationship advice? People who
All you
can't have a
single folks.
relationship.
Single people. Yeah.
And that's the problem. We got too many people in the welfare line trying to tell you how to become millionaires.
For
And
sure.
that's why we got a bunch of broke people around here in love. That's just my
All I was trying to say was, to Rashi's point, it doesn't have to be advertised. I have had someone offer services of licking the gooch. And I was like,
And see,
no.
y'all thinking about a nigga coming off his job
Now,
as a truck driver and his
Rashi,
drawers is moist.
can I
That's
finish?
not it.
And I also have had um, a woman. I think I said this before. Sneak the finger in the back door, and I was like, "Yo, that ain't cool either."
You ain't punching?
So,
Yeah.
but
I
huh?
punch the side of the head. Go ahead. Come,
Oh, I didn't punch her. I didn't.
Because Thomas said you just
But
got
I did.
molested. You got
I
molested.
did. I did totally change um, everything that was going on. I mean, my whole attitude changed. I was like, "Yo, that ain't cool at all. I'm not into that. I don't know
Right.
why you thought that was
But
okay, but
did you come though?
no, I did not come because I did not allow that to happen for long at all. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I can say that I have been amazed by women telling me how I would be surprised at the men that are into pegging or being pegged. And I was like, I hear all that.
Mr.
That ain't my life.
Lee,
That ain't
we
my
Yeah.
had the
world.
lady on. We had a lady on, a sex therapist. We had a sex therapist on, Barry. It's sometime last year, maybe even the year before, late year before. She said they come in and they cry for a few minutes, and then they tell her how she got to put something in there so that they can release the demons.
Hmm?
Mm.
It is a part of their therapy. Now, okay, now, you want her to say, you want her to wear a helmet so that she don't get the shit punched out of her with every client. But I'm telling you that there are men ready to share their head from the missing follicles on their forehead all the way down to that horned up corn toe they have on the baby toe. They ready to share the kit and the caboodle. And there are women who are ready to indulge that reality. And then there are willing to say, you punk ass nigga, get the fuck out of my bed. You're gay with your bitch ass, you down low gay ass nigga. And I just need you to hear a reality where the Erica Badu's of the world are ready to turn a nigga like 3,000 all the way which way but loose. They ready to show him his full self because he was ready
I
to
don't know about.
accept
I don't
his
know about
full
that.
self to be shown to him. And
That's
I'm
not,
done with that.
but that's not a full. So let's walk this back. I'm not saying that it's not a avenue forward. I work with a coworker who used to date a lot of brothers who played in the NFL. And I used to hear about the things for some of these guys. One of them actually is on television, calling games for CBS right now. But I used to hear those stories about these guys and that aspect of liking objects stuck in them. That's them. Do not call like I'm built different. I'm from a different background, and you can't play with me like you play with everybody else.
That's
Mm.
Yeah.
true. This is some new shit. This is some new shit, Barry,
And
in my opinion.
I try to,
Literally and figuratively.
but I try to make
Yes.
it clear with everybody though. I got boundaries, and if you violate my boundaries, I'm gonna violate you.
One of the things Lee started off with was that porn will tell you about what people are up to, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Lee, are you or are in your fine research you were doing
My research.
in
Yes.
order to understand the
Strictly research.
phenomena.
Strictly
Come
research.
on, Barry, stop that shit, man. I gotta finish the sentence, brother. Damn. Uh,
Yes.
in your
I
fine
was.
research, brother
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
have you or have you not witnessed a lot more vulnerable intimacy within the male population in the sex trade industry?
Well, there
And
were
I'll leave it like that.
times. There were times when things like that would pop up, but I would ignore them. I was more focused on vaginal penetration than anything. So, yeah.
Oh my,
Strictly for
oh
research.
my God. Hey,
But
Ross, he hit you with that one. He tried to get you.
Leave me alone. Leave me
Oh
alone,
my
Barry.
God.
Leave me alone, Barry.
look,
Leave me
look,
alone.
we
I'm
got
trying to
some.
bring this full circle, Miss
Look,
Jackie. They messing with me.
Bring it full circle. Bring it
look.
full circle.
We got 23 minutes left, and we got some other things to hit. I just
Oh,
wanted to knock on a couple of different things. So let's be clear. A leading cause of this lack of wanting to actually connect to people, intimacy, relationship. Stop, Thomas. Stop. I'm trying to be serious
yeah,
here.
Rashi
He
got me
can't get
Is
himself
that
together.
right?
crazy.
I know, right?
Hey, I love
We
statistical
have
analysis, Barry. Stop.
from psychology today, there are 7 leading causes that are preventing folks from becoming intimate and really getting to connect one another. Parental pressure is a huge one. There's more focus being put on education and financial
Yeah.
goals versus actually mating with someone and realizing having a relationship. There is the hookup culture that's going on. We all know about that. It's very easy to meet people, but it's truly difficult to connect with someone. We need to get
Yeah.
offline, as Brother Barry said earlier, and really get to meet one another and get to know one another and see if we want to forge a relationship with them.
All right.
Social media is to blame as well. While people are connected, we are not connected at all. You constantly see people in a chat room or online, and you interact with them like that. But when you get off, or when they get off, there's nothing you can say to them. You don't feel comfortable actually talking to people.
Right.
Stress again, revolving around money. Money is huge right now. You know, things are
It
tight.
is.
People are trying to figure out ways to make it, but a huge way for people to make it. We've championed this quite a few times. Is for people to couple. You- those bills get a hell of a lot easier when it's two people paying them versus one. Uh, but mental health as well is an issue, and I think that's go back to loneliness. I talked about a little bit of that in myself earlier. Loneliness is equivalent to less desire. You just don't desire to be with someone. Changing dating dynamics. We've gone to a swipe based game type of feel
Hmm.
dating, and that's less appealing to younger folks. You know, people don't think people are serious. People don't think people read one another's profiles. People don't think that you're interested in the actual person. You're more interested in
Yeah.
pictures.
Right.
I am over 50. I could care a little less what your ass look like nowadays. I would much rather know about you. I would much rather connect with you. I don't care what you do. You paying your own bills. That's the only thing that's important. I don't give a damn what you do. You know, you starting off with things about your fraternity, your sorority, whatever. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, whatever, dog. If that's what your entire life is about, okay, there's bigger things in life than that. Also, cultural shifts. Again, folks are more into me and they're less into we,
Mhm.
just in general. You hear this a lot. You see this a lot, especially if you just pay attention to people. They're very quick to me. I think that too may be a reflection of the breakup or the loss of dynamic, the family dynamic, because you know a lot of people are growing up without family members near them. You move away, your family, your folks move away for a new job. They start a whole new life. Your mom might have moved to a new city. That's where she met your dad. It's just y'all. It's just
Yeah.
y'all and your dad's family. Hell, your dad might even be from that city. So it could very well just be y'all. Same is reversed with the father and the mother. And there it is. But these are the challenges that are awaiting us. In addition to a challenge for uh, medical care providers, we're looking at uh, 6 million people currently with Alzheimer's disease. The projection is roughly 13 million by 2050. That's a huge jump. You're going to need caregivers for that. Social Security, Medicaid account for roughly 9.1% of GDP right now. You're looking at potentially 11.5% by 2035. That's a whole lot of damn money. You need people in the system to pay. Remember, Social Security is nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. You need more people in the damn system to pay into it to keep it robust. So we need to make babies. There it is, man. There it is. I mean, I will never tell anybody to make more kids than they can afford.
Yeah.
I will never tell anybody
I
to make
would.
a
In
kid.
America, I would. In
But
America, I would. Lay that shit on the burden on the state. Shit, there ain't no
Mhm.
telling what's gonna happen to us. Give it to the state. The state gonna fucking take over anyway. The state gonna have them in the military. The state gonna feed them. The state gonna educate them. The state gonna do all that other shit. You ain't gonna homeschool them. You don't have no garden to feed them in. Let this hell your children are wards of the state. You can have as much interjection as you want to, but until we control our house and our homesteads a certain way, we're all feeding our children into the state in some form.
but I
Right,
do
but what you don't want to do is have them become wards of the state. Go ahead, Thomas. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I do want to caution us too though. Intimacy is not always the ending is an unwanted child.
Correct.
And I feel like what happened to us, especially if you're from Gen X, that conversation over teenage pregnancy over the 80s,
Yep.
putting on into the Maury Povich, Jerry Springer type.
You are not the father.
You don't
Yeah,
remember the
Right.
song, do
Right.
you? Did you remember the song "Babies Are Having"? Y'all don't remember "Babies Are Having Babies"?
Go
yeah,
ahead, Thomas.
but,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
remember.
but it's an interruption of intimacy and it does bring stereotypes that we regurgitate, like deadbeat dads, welfare queens. We say this about each other online, back and forth. So
Right.
I want to warn us about that. The other thing that I do want to say is part of who you are, if you are, and I'm glad you brought up social media, because I got to share with my brothers. You brought it up, so I got to remember to copy and paste. I was doing some research about what was some of the weaknesses of Facebook, Instagram, or whatever to compare the watch to. And they were saying that they've done research, and they said that these platforms are the increasing number on why a lot of teenagers and adults are having depression and anxiety. And when people wean off of them from 3 to 4 months, they notice that the depression and the anxiety subsides.
Right.
What is that say? What is that saying? And then,
Information.
no, it's the dopamine high, because
Mm-hmm.
all it does is, and when you were talking about the devices, and I didn't really go into it being stuck on you, how many times have you felt like your phone has vibrated and it hasn't? Because
Mm.
they are training you to chase that high. And when you don't chase that high, they're going to send you reminders. Oh, Lee commented on your post 3 days ago. Make
That's
sure you
so
go back
true.
in and you post on that. Like the drug dealer that even when you're in rehab, they're
Right.
showing up in the parking lot saying, "I got more dope for you."
Mm.
And I want to caution us collectively to that piece. If you want to know why you've been stuck in this rut where you can't find someone, I know a lot of my beautiful sisters online got the dear husband post, but let me tell you, when brothers see those posts, we just know you're not marriage material. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Bentley never advertises. I've never seen a Bentley commercial.
Mm.
And you have to always keep that in mind for all you brothers who are saying, man, I want me a high quality sister. You know what? Ferrari never advertises. So when you get online and you say you want these things and dear husband and whatever, you're really pushing yourself further from the crowd that you would typically have. You have to make sure that some of these things you keep to yourself and stop saying what's wrong with other people. When I was
Mm.
coming up, it used to be about your game. I know people don't like that term game, but can you really walk up to a woman and have some conversations with that woman to make her give you enough attention, enough time? And then after that, do you have some manhood about you to be able to provide, protect, and do those other things? We have to get out of this business because that's what white supremacy do. White folks blame everybody for everything. They don't take no accountability. It's always somebody else's fault. We got to stop doing that with each other. Some relationships just don't work out, y'all. That's all it
There
is.
you go.
Doesn't mean that the opposite sex is bad. It just didn't work out for you with this
There
particular
you go.
person.
Jackie, you got something to say to close out so we can move on to the next
I,
couple subjects
I
before we get out
did
of here?
want to talk about the intimacy piece. I think a lot of times we're not understanding of the word intimacy, and you know, if we're just trying to build a relationship on the physical aspect, that's going to be an empty relationship because of lack of understanding. When I talk about the safe space, for me, it's not just that physical part. I have to be able to emotionally connect with you and feel safe to allow myself to be vulnerable with you. And I just feel like in the age of social media, we're not able to do that. We don't know how to do that because we're so reliant on the popularity contest, how many likes I get. But that doesn't play into building a relationship with someone. Um, I always think the system is designed to keep us from being intimately connected with one another. And we play right into that. So my question is before, maybe this could be a part two. How can we change that?
Mm. Talking,
Yeah,
proximity,
Hmm.
I'm
talking.
definitely willing to do a part two.
Talk.
And, us changing has to be about us recognizing that we must respect one another's differences.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I plug this real quick? So
Yeah,
I,
go ahead.
I have developed an app. It's called Cuff Vibe Ghost.
Okay.
It's the ultimate dating aspect, and our goal is always to push people closer in relationships. So if a person does not mix what you want, you push ghost, and then that person is no longer seeing your profile. You're not seeing their profile, whatever the
That's
case.
cool. That's cool.
If a person that you vibe with, then y'all can exchange social media information, whatever, to keep the conversation going. And if you push, that's vibe. I'm sorry, but if you push cuff, what we try to do with the platform is help you guys rearrange arrange dates,
Hmm.
try to formulate, and then steer you into count coaching by actual relationship experts, people that are actually married and in relationships, so that you can
Hmm.
get on off the platform. Our goal is to get you off the platform, not to hold you onto the platform. So that's why
Right.
Cuff Vibe Ghost, and my ultimate goal is to do events every quarter in certain spaces in the regions. Because the main thing that we have to do is we have to control the social aspect of social networking, right? Like when we got white folks in the middle of our intimacy, is always
Yes.
going to be disrupted because they're trying to make a coin off of it. They're trying to make a dollar. And that's why you always see the worst of us projected. So that's why I developed the app. We're going to bring that out around Valentine's Day, which is my birthday. I'm going to drop the Watch app on February 1st. But Cub Vibe Ghost is already in the making. I just got a few more people. I got to talk to Lee still, but we got some other people that's partnering with me so we can make this an actual reality where Black folks are really getting back to intimacy off of social media. Because my whole thing is, and I say this on the app, if you're a woman, I don't want you to have other women friends. I want you to go out here and find these men that you say you want to date. And if
Yes.
you're a man, I don't need you to have your homeboys because you know the performative piece. I need you to bring the real you to the table. And if we find people who are not who they say they are, then we get rid of them off the app. So we can make sure that we have genuine people on there who's actually single, who's actually looking to date. We got this stand the wall policy. If you're on the app and we don't see you active after a certain time, we just boot you, because at the end of the day, we're not looking to have people go and gossip about people. If intimacy is really your thing and you're really trying to date somebody, we help you through that whole dating process. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want. But if you don't want to really date, this ain't the place for you to go look around and be nosy to go report back
Right.
to everybody else to talk bad about folks. So I wanted to bring that up.
All right, bet. Sis, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk about bringing you back for part two. Hopefully, you feel better real soon.
Yeah,
Happy
you
Thank
was,
birthday.
you.
man, Queen
Thank
Jackie, it was
you.
good talking to you, and Rashi was hilarious today. My
Yes, indeed. It's always a pleasure.
But you will tell me eventually, Miss Jackie, how we gonna fuck this AI, right?
Rodney,
You
you already
you
know.
talk to AI and you share your God. How about that?
There you go. Take care, sister. Have a great one. We need to talk about this invasion of Venezuela because I think that's all we're gonna have time for. We have 8 minutes left in the show.
I,
So
yeah.
early this morning, U.S. forces went in and they attacked Venezuela. They removed the president and his wife, flew them out of the country. We already know this is about regime change. We already know Venezuela is sitting on a boatload of oil. We already know that Trump's back is against the wall as far as the opinion polls are concerned. Again, as I said earlier in the show, him losing control of the National Guard because of the Supreme Court. The midterms aren't looking so sweet right now. People are leaving in both parties, but in more drove in the Republican Party because they just don't see them being able to do much in the current Congress right now. And folks are trying to get back to the state so they can affect change at the state level. We all know that there are more and more files from the Epstein uh, debacle that are being released. Jack Smith just went before Congress and gave his testimony, and my man said, I got proof this mofo did what this mofo did. When all that's going on, plus the I take more aspirin than prescribed because I'm trying to do this, that BS that he spewed out the other day. So now his health is in question. The health of his leadership of the military is become in question. Why would he not rattle the saber? Why would he not go after this little itty bitty damn country to, relatively speaking, it's a little itty bitty damn country, to uh, shore up his base as the nation turns toward the midterm elections, which are happening extremely quickly. It's January already, family. We will be in November in no time. We will have to go through primary season, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a dogfight. There'll be a lot of infighting, not only from the Democratic Party, which we are already seeing, but also from the Republican Party, because they are going to need and really need to take stock of who they want to be, what they want to stand for post Trump, if there is a post Trump. Rodney, you came on right on time. What do you think about us invading Venezuela?
I just don't know how to say it anymore. Danger Will Robinson. He doesn't care about anything other than the oil. And he's already said, released, that he's going to tap into Venezuela's vast gas oil reserves to cut down prices and sell. It was always about that. He's not going to stop with Venezuela. He will be in Nigeria. He will be wherever there is something that he can have. And those are the words that he used. The scariest thing, to be quite blunt, is the fact that the military went along with it. The
I was going to
military,
ask that next as my follow up question.
the military needs to stop following unlawful orders, and the rest of the world needs to pressure our military to do it, as well as us citizens here at home.
I think this is an impeachable offense. I know it's not think. I know. I don't want to say I think when I know. I know that this is impeachable. And not only do I know that it's impeachable, I also know that this is another point about Speaker Johnson. And this is a problematic thing. And I'm going to say this again. Dems cape for this guy to be the speaker. I know we talk about the worst of the worst, but maybe if we saw the extreme part of whoever the MAGA choice wanted to be, maybe 2024 would have turned out differently. But this is dangerous on so many levels, because you know it's going to put American women and children in harm's way. It's always ramification when it comes to war. People don't just get bombed and just sit quietly. And typically on this side of the planet, we're typically, the United States is pretty friendly with most of the people here, because we don't do stuff like this. And to me, I'm just thinking about how scary this can be when a guy can just wake up and just say, F the Congress, F the Constitution. And he says this every day. This is an
Well,
everyday.
Can I add a particular layer to this as well?
go ahead.
Because honestly, Lee, you said two fraudulent statements earlier. First thing you did is you called Maduro the president of Venezuela, and indeed he is not. The people of Venezuela actually voted for a lady. Her name is Maria Corina Machado. And I do believe President Machado is the one of the driving forces behind this tastelessly done, okay, tasteless and very poorly crafted rescue mission of a nation. Now, this is how it works. I am Miss Machado. My people have voted for me. Yes or no? They did. Okay. But the dude won't get the fuck out the chair. He's doing the Trump. He's doing the I'm not leaving shit. So I go to who? Who do you go to when your people have voted and you can't get out the chair? Who do you go to? That's right, fellas. You go to the International Criminal Court, right? And you tell them, you lay your case in front of the court about this dude, right? And then the dude, because he runs the army, because he's a dude, he sends the army after you. And so you have to go start hiding in hidey holes all over the place. And then instead of saying, okay, I want my own army and trying to do a fracture of the country, you leave and attempt to get outside forces. I see you rounding to do the work that you think should have been done. And who do you get to turn to? Well, the biggest army there is, ours. And so what you think, I do believe is just strong arming may have been asked for from someone that doesn't have a voice that we can hear right now.
Okay. Thomas, to answer your question, we can go a little long. I'm fine with that. I don't have to run today. Um, but to Rashi, to your point, regardless of who they voted for, the person sitting in the chair was Maduro. So he was taken with his wife out of the country, which is more than likely they're at Gitmo right now. Just being real, they're in Gitmo or some black site right now.
Wherever the fuck they got Manuel Noriega.
Okay, but
Well, what's scary is that CBS nerfing
special that got killed.
of that 60 minutes and what they're saying that's going on in that prison. And that's the part with Americans. That's what I don't justify nothing Trump does. I don't try to advocate for that devil whatsoever. Because I understand that there's no good out of this whatsoever that's taking place. And I'm always, when I hear people say, oh, it's some good that happens, it's never really no good that comes out of some of the things that he's doing because the recklessness of how he's going about doing it. There is protocols for a reason. And if you allow him to do this, then what's going to happen down the line? Now, the president is set. And that's the part that I feel like Americans are not paying attention to. It's not him. It's about when it gets worse down the line because he's been allowed to do it. Same thing we were saying with George W. Bush and the Patriot Act and some of the things that happened after 9/11. If you allow these things to take place, then you get a Trump. Or if you allow Trump to take place and think about where we are at 9/11 to where we are at now, that was 24 years ago. 24 years from now, who's going to be the next iteration of what Trump may be like? And that's the part that people have to look at. I just look at it from the vantage point when you look at the CBS special and you saw how they was treating those prisoners down there and the reason why they wanted to nerf it. And to me, with the bombing of Nigeria, this to me is telling me that this guy came in talking about he was going to be an isolationist. That's what he was saying, that it wasn't going to be any new
He was
war.
in all wars, right?
In all wars. And now he is entering into all of these wars. And I think y'all part
Except
of
for
it,
the one that we need to really need to be in, Ukraine versus Russia.
right. But I think y'all that's part of him satisfying those people who may want him out because of the Epstein situation. Because of that faux pas with the Epstein situation and these wealthy men who are on the brink of being exposed, he may have to do the bidding of some of these men to get this oil or to get these other resources to make us forget or else. Or
Right.
he may be the or else.
So, you know, as I said again earlier, this is not surprising. He he is his back is up against the wall on a number of fronts. This was an easy win, easy target.
Mm-hmm.
The sad part, as I concede to Rodney and agree with Rodney, is the military went along with this.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing lawful about this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Congress is the only body that can declare war. He cannot declare war unilaterally. What do we do if he decides to declare war against the American North? What do we do if he decides to strategically declare war against this county, this city, this state? What do we do?
Oh, yes. He's declared war on Minnesota.
That's the sad part. The sad part is, to your point, Brother Barry, this is impeachable. But no one's going to hold him to account because right now he has his finger on all three levers of government.
Yeah.
All three.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
So you asked who's after him, right? Come on now. Y'all ain't heard of Stephen Miller, Jared
No,
Kushner? You ain't heard of Don fucking Jr. with his retarded ass? You ain't heard none
no,
of the puppets? You ain't heard of
it'll
what's
be
old dude?
Vance.
Now? I
Vance. I'm
mean
sorry, it'll be
Vance. I
Vance.
mean
It'll be JD
Island.
Vance.
Now who he
It'll be
gonna
Vance
drag
because
in? Okay, so so it's him. So
JD,
who he gonna drag in?
because JD Vance is young, so they're going to try to utilize Vance to move their agenda further as long as they possibly can. There's already a question about Trump and his age. They will not turn to someone that is long in the tooth to run the next go around. They'll check. They'll turn to Vance.
Well, I just want you fellas to know, and I'm gonna end with this,
Mhm.
that I'm having I had a fantastic break. I hope you all got a chance to relax. My cortisol levels that are at at an all time low, and I'm doing my best to enter back into the classroom with a mindset of what needs to be done. I unfortunately have had my classroom time taken for a literacy app. Now that you're talking apps, Brother Barry, there's a brand new app called, well, I can't say that part, but the children have to prove if they can read or not. So, in this part of our retention plan, if your ass can't read, it'll be a part of what happens to keep you in the same grade. They have started retention. Everybody's kind of shaky right now because it's post 6 years post COVID, and everybody's like, what had happened was. So I'm just want to let you brothers know that I'm finna go in fighting and do my best to explain concepts in a lasting way. And always, as always, I will educate children, especially black children, so that they are able to deal it scientifically and think logically and critically about what's going to happen and build skills and information that will help them. Because you don't know no poor. Do you anybody here know a poor scientist?
I don't,
No,
but I do got two apps I would suggest that you plug your children in that's free. One is the Blue Hornet, which helps them with spelling and literacy and reading, and the other one is the Mayat app, which helps them with mathematics. It goes from kindergarten all the way to calculus, and then also with the Blue Hornet, it helps them from letters and shapes all the way up to ACT, SAT prep words. And we're going to get some essay writing in there too, so they can be able to formulate that. We just have to. The problem is that we shouldn't talk about the problem. We should just be focusing on our own solutions, and that's why it's free. And that those are free to all children, anywhere, everywhere. All they have to do is log in. They can download it to their phones. They can download it to their tablets, to their laptops, or whatever the case may be. My thing is that we have to just get our children prepped. And a lot of times, our kids need to learn how to be bored, how to sit in a room and study, and learn how to read, and get back to doing nothing. Parents have to get out of the feeling that you have to have your kids on the go. Make your kid wake up on Saturday morning,
go
wash
online.
wash those baselines in your house, wash them walls that they didn't put they stick your fingers over, and get a book and read at the table while they're eating their breakfast, and go in their room. And if they got problems with math, they need to go over that math before they can hop on that video game. And then we probably won't have another Donald Trump who's a lousy good for nothing. So Sister Rashi, salute to you on that thing. But back to this thing, because I really, this war thing to me is really bothersome, because I'm just thinking about the idea of where we go future wise in this particular country, when you have a president who is saying that he's willing to take resources from states because they didn't vote for him. And then when you think about, there's a cost to every bomb that's dropped. There's a sticker price to those bombs. And what I mean
Absolutely.
by that is not how much it only does it cost to drop the bomb and build that bomb, but also typically in America, we have a history of dropping bombs on people and then going spending the dollars and resources of the American taxpayer to help
To
build
rebuild.
is back up. And so we have to think about that as we pay attention to all of this, because the cost point is only to the American people. When Donald Trump is out and they arrest his ass and throw him in the same prisons that he's throwing other people into, that still is going to cost the American public. All of this is going to cost us. And if we don't wake up, and if we don't start asking more questions more loudly and more sustainable, right? That's going to be the issue. I'm hoping that there's more pressure on more of these Republican congressional members to let them know your ass will be out, and we want to make sure that you also get impeached with him. Speaker Johnson not being the speaker no more. That's not enough. That is not enough. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping the next president that comes in that's a Democrat say, not only do we want Johnson out, but we're gonna treat him like they treated this, like they're treating the state of Minnesota. We're gonna clean Louisiana up. We're gonna make sure that we get that good for nothing as governor at Louisiana out, and we're gonna make sure that we return voting rights to the people of the state of Louisiana.
But the Supreme Court looks like they're going to side with Louisiana in the current case. They're going to gut the Voting Rights Act.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and what do you guys think about that? Because I saw this episode last week on ABC on the Sunday show, and they were talking. Somebody was on there talking about we shouldn't question the Supreme Court justice that said that it's reckless, that say that it's a corrupt court. And my response to that video was like, this lady is clearly on the take. What do you guys think about this particular Supreme Court? Because to me, we talk so much about the congressional aspect of it.
They need to be impeached.
But I feel like the Supreme Court is really the fallback in this situation for Trump. They're kind of creating they're creating that whole outside of the line to go further. Do you guys feel that way too?
Yeah. I mean, Roberts is clearly on one, and it's been his job for years. That's not true. It's been his dream for years to get the court as aligned as it is. Unfortunately, I'm learning that the hard way. I thought we had a pretty solid dude in him, and I'm finding more and more. I thought. I'm finding more and more that he ain't. This was years ago, Rodney. I've changed my tune, but yeah, we I agree with you, Thomas. Obama should have made the appointment during the break, and I don't think we would be here. But he didn't. That's why we're here, and that's what we got. But yeah, they need to be impeached because they have clearly taken money for their votes. They, the appearance of them taking money for their votes or their stance is very, very heavy at this point. And that is not good for the nation. It's not good for the people. They are not being the people's court. They are being the court for themselves and their families. I don't think we're going to see anything different if we allow them to continue. Again, they are setting the nation up, even when it browns and you see more and more black and or brown people taking hold of positions of power, they will be crippled by the case laws that these folks are allowing to become law. The cases, I'm sorry, that these folks are allowing to become law. They will be crippled by the rulings that they have allowed to not take up and keep at the state level, which will be precedent for them or the next court to vote on later. Well, the previous court didn't vote on it. They allowed the states to vote on it. So we're going to turn a blind eye to this yet again and allow the states to vote on it. That's a no win for the people. It's keeping the people at bay from really realizing and getting justice. Rodney, what you think?
When there will be large protests in America, the military will be turned on America because the same military that committed crimes against humanity in Venezuela don't want to go to jail. Danger, danger, danger. This is the ultimate power grab, is to take control of the military. If you take over another country, you're the bully. You just prove to the other country that you're going to do what you said. So now you either do what I say or you're next. And then every time that happens, more and more the military is implicated. And they're not going to want to go to jail. So when they come to American streets, They're coming for blood. And there will be blood in 2026 in American streets. We, when you get to this point in history, the military plays one of two roles. Either they depose the dictator or they oppose the dictator. And what we're seeing now is they're supporting the dictator. So the American people need to get off of their assets and we need to get busy or pretty soon. And when I say soon, real soon. Let's see what happens in Black History Month. Never can predict the exact dates, but they will be turned on to the American people.
Yep.
As Trump has recently stated, this last Christmas will be your last good Christmas. Those are his words. And
What did he say? I didn't catch what he said. What did he say?
said this last Christmas will be your last good Christmas.
Oh wow.
And I think a lot of people did not catch that. And that's why, you know, my thing is always about the salaciousness that Black folks have gotten addicted to. We're not focusing on politics the way that we used to. And we have to get back to understanding. A lot of people in this state did not know that they were cutting childcare for this state. You know how many Black people I know who run daycares here, and the impact that they have nothing to do with the Somali community? Nothing. And I'm not blaming the Somali community. That's something that happened 10 years ago. And it was fraud, Joe. It was $100 million in fraud. And I remember the actual news story where they were showing up to these places and there was no date. That was back in 2015, not 2025.
Wasn't a white woman the catalyst of all this?
That was a different scandal. That was feeding our future. That this happened before feeding our future.
Damn. How much scandal y'all got in Minnesota? How many people y'all got in that motherfucker? Like 10,000?
So let me explain this to you, because I think people, and this is something that I'll say it here and it ain't been said anywhere. A lot of these East Africans that are committing these crimes are married to white people. I'm going to say that to you one more time so you can understand the access to the dollars, because they're going to the places where it's heavily Somali people. But a lot of these folks are married to white folks. That's how they're getting their access into it. If you wanted to know, how are they able to pull this off? I think we had this conversation a few years ago, Rodney, and I was telling you about a study that a sister was doing, and she was saying that this number about the amount of Black women who are opening businesses here in Minnesota was predominantly East African women. Remember, I told you that? And I told you that those women were married to white men. Okay. The brother-in-laws, the son-in-laws, the uncles, the whatever. That's how they're getting the access to all of these programs without anybody seeing anything. So white folks are making money off this. And I want to end it by saying, if the Somalis are responsible for $1 to $2 billion in fraud, they're saying it's 18 billion. So that means that white folks are responsible for 16 to 17 billion dollars in fraud. Let that sink in. And while you're letting that sink in, ask yourself this question.
I ain't seen none of them on TV.
Oh no, this been all over the TV here. Listen, man, it has been crazy.
No, I'm talking about the white folks being convicted and stuff. I ain't seen that being blasted on TV.
Well, you seen what happened in the NBA? It's a gambling scandal. But why did you only see a Black coach and a Black player? Yep. You never seen the faces or even heard the names of the mafioso guys that's supposed to be attached to that scandal. But this is what white supremacy does. It only focuses on the melanated people, and the Somalis. The quote, the late what's my brother name? The comedian, Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney is true. They're getting that nigga wake up call. All of this stuff that they were saying in previous years about they're not Black in America. Oh, you about to find out you're Black now, and you're about to find out that you're not so Arab neither. So that's just their wake up call. And I want to make sure that we're clear with this, because people are always talking about this in a vacuum. I see Black people in Minnesota talking about this in an aspect that don't understand that this is hurting Black people I know and I love, who have daycares, who are doing the right things. Now they can't even get paid because they have to prove to this government that they actually have the children. Do you know how that impacts those families? How that impacts that daycare owner? Like, this is not in a vacuum, y'all. These are real people, real people. And so when I see Trump go to war like this, and Congress is supposed to control the purse, like they're supposed to control the levers of war, and in both instances, he can say it and do it. And Rodney, you're right. Keith Ellison will challenge it and probably win it in court. But let me ask you, my auntie who got to wait months for that, how does that help her?
Right.
How does that help her? Because the process of her having to wait while she has black children that she's taking care of from families who are definitely hurting, how does that help her whatsoever? How does that help her with her bills? How does that help her with her health? By the way, we're talking about premiums that are going up like it's nothing. We're talking about a 300, 500, 600% spike in premiums like it's nothing.
Yep.
This digital aspect of conversation, like none of this stuff matters. It's just people dead in Venezuela. People ain't even mourning in America anymore. 20 years ago, it would have been all over the news. It'd have been all over every platform. CNN would have been ringing all through your phone. We would have all got our little updates about the bombing, the photos, and everything else. And today, I guarantee you, after he dropped this bomb, we're going to talk about the next fucking tweet that this moron sends out. That's going to be the conversation. Not about the death, not about the criminal act of what he's done, because they're going to always make it like he's not a criminal. They're going to point out to Obama and the drone strikes and everything else, because this is what they love to do. They always love to go back. I picked up a norm with these folks, though, y'all. I noticed that they only go back to Obama. That George W. Bush is never brought up in the conversation. And I peeped through a comment. I saw George W. Bush make a statement last week about how he doesn't speak on current presidents. And I thought about it. I said, yeah, he's quiet for a reason. Because if he really opened his mouth,
his hands dirty.
Oh, his hands is extremely dirty. And he does not want to talk about the dirt that's on his hands. And so that's the way that he escapes out of it. But this country is going to have to stand up. And if we don't, Rodney is right, unfortunately, there will be blood in the streets in 2026 and after, until the country course corrects what's happening with this particular president. And it's some ugly truths that we're going to find out about our country. We're going to find out that they've allowed a lot of other countries to run clandestine activities on our soil while they look the other way because of corporate interests. We're going to find out that our hands are deep into the problems of this fentanyl thing that we're talking about, where this is purposely being done because people are not using enough drugs for them, and so they need to get that money. So that I'm glad to be back. I probably will have a lot more days that I won't be on, as I try to push for this app and other platforms to be up and running. But I'm also looking forward to the year, because I think that this platform is definitely going to take on some new changes, and I'm excited for it. Hopefully we can have Queen Jackie back on at least once a month. I think relationship topics need to come back to the forefront as we continue to teach our people how to re-engage with each other and love on each other.
That's what's up. That's what's up. To sidebar, no, Rodney, LeBron did not get traded. That was some fizzle fazzle. Not official yet. Rich Paul shut it down.
Oh, he was balling last night, Rodney. No, the Kang is still the Kang, man. The Kang was balling last night.
I wanted to bring up the fact that Ohio State lost. I wanted to bring up the fact that Georgia lost. I wanted to bring up the fact Alabama lost. This has been definitely a different college football playoff. I really don't know who's going to survive through the entirety of the thing. Indiana looks really good. Brother Barry, you all might take it this year.
Man, fuck
I
that.
know that's
No,
not. I know you're a Notre Dame. I know you're a Notre Dame fan, but you're from Indiana. Indiana might walk away with it this year.
I ain't watched the game. I ain't watched the game.
I feel that
whole damn thing can end in a tie. I don't care. When they listen, man, I'm gonna say this about Notre Dame, which is true, and this is to show you that racism is back in this country 100%, and a lot of the other things. People talk about the product. They talk about Notre Dame being favored. But you got to remember, this is a Protestant country, and a lot of these schools are attached to Protestant churches. Notre Dame is a Catholic school, and a lot of the discrimination that took place to Notre Dame is happening and rearing its head again, as we have a pope who is also Catholic who does not like this current president as well. And the Pope, who's black from Chicago, has spoken out against this president in a
I
way.
like how he slid that in. He
Oh,
black for Chicago.
no,
I like how he slid that in.
but I think that a lot of what's happening in sports is going back because racism is peeking its head back up to ways that it didn't used to be. I think sports is showing that as well. And so I want to point this out because Notre Dame would have won this thing, this entire thing, Lee. That was part of it. And if Notre Dame would have won this year, that's why they had to keep us out. It would have broke up the conference system. Teams would have learned that they don't need the conference, that they can do what we do, and that's go out and get money outside of the parameters of ESPN and outside of these power conferences. So this was easy for us to win. We had the line, we had the running game, we had the quarterback, we had the wide receiver, we had everything this year to win it. I'll take. I think Miami's going to win it all, but I'm not watching. I'm not watching. I'm protesting. I'm protesting. I'm with my squad. We ain't in it, but I'm glad that you pointed that out because one of the things that I do like about this particular, even though I'm not watching, is that when things are even, you notice that the dominance of the SEC is not so dominant. And
I said that many a year.
Let's take that back to black folks. If we had equal opportunity as they try to front like they gave us, I guarantee you this country would look a lot like this college football tournament at this point. You would see a lot more of us winning versus losing if everything was even. If white folks had to really pull themselves up by their bootstraps, you will find out that they don't know how to reach too down far to grab at the strap if it is there to begin with. And if it was even, we would lap them in that race.
All right, look, I need to go. I know we ran over, but it was worth running over.
It was.
Rodney.
Man, you missed Rashi.
I know you were up late, but you can get to sleep. Yeah, Rashi was on one. Rodney, I know, look, you should be glad you missed it because Rashi was on one.
No, man, Rashi was good today, man. Rashi had me over here. I was about to die from laughing, man. Rashi, hey, man, Rashi is hilarious.
Fire. You know what I'm saying? Look, family, thank you all for sticking with us at Extra Innings. We got some more folks lined up to come in. We wanted to start the year off strong. That's why we brought Queen Jackie on. We will circle back, have her on again. Pitches and catches report in less than 30 days. So we're trying to do a baseball show either to end the month or to begin next month. Rodney, we need Steven for that. And I'm working on my guy too. I just want to talk about some stuff and go into it like that. I think it's going to be a great baseball season. I'm looking forward to it as I look forward to it every year. I'm pulling for my damn Orioles and we'll see what happens. But it is, look, I'm ride till I die. I'm a baseball kid. I'm an American kid. I'm an old school cat. Baseball is still my damn sport.
Go White Sox.
I ain't mad at you.
I cheer, unfortunately, for both the White Sox and the Cubs. But
Ronnie, when you all get your team, is it this year or next year?
I believe it's next year. As far as playing, I think it's next year.
Okay.
That's the Las Vegas A's, huh?
Right.
Yeah, we got the aces for the WNBA, but I don't think anybody is going to be champions like the WNBA.
I got you. Well, look, you all be good. You all be safe. Thank you again for joining us. Please follow us on social, on TikTok now. I did it. On Facebook, Instagram. If no one's told you that you're on YouTube, yes, please follow us on YouTube. If no one's told you that they love you, we do love you. There ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Until next week, family. Peace.